Stick with me. You and I are about to watch a guy die among corpses, then instantly reincarnate. He just crossed over, and boom, facing a massive monster. Memories hit him fast. The original owner of this body was named Chu Mo. That giant beast? A purple lightning wolf. And the planet he just arrived on is called Blue Star. In the year 2200, massive space rifts suddenly ripped across the entire globe. Countless terrifying beasts poured out from them, bringing absolute devastation to the human race. Fighting back, a few humans realized they could absorb some mysterious free-floating elements in the air. This core energy mutated their bodies, granting them extraordinary superhuman strength. They became known as martial artists. No time for Chu Mo to process this lore drop. The wolf opens its razor-sharp jaws and lunges right for his head. He quickly raises his knife to block the attack. But these savage beasts pack a crazy electrical current. One direct hit and he is completely fried. Seeing the wolf still biting down on the blade, Chu Mo uses every ounce of his strength to shove the beast away. Pinning it against ancient trees, he thrusts his knife to deal a finishing blow. But his terrible luck strikes again. The dagger snaps clean in half before piercing it. This is bad. Normal humans have literally zero chance against these mutated beasts. Seeing the monster gear up for another strike, Chu Mo grits his teeth. He refuses to die here. He promised to keep this stolen body alive, so he has to survive. He quickly starts analyzing the battle situation in front of him. The belly area lacks thick fur. Despite the massive electrical charge, nothing is sparking from down there. Now watch closely. This next desperate strike is going to decide if he lives or dies. Gripping his broken blade, he focuses entirely on landing this do-or-die attack. But before he even moves, a girl suddenly flashes into view. One clean slash sends the beast's head flying. While Chu Mo stands there stunned, she yells out, "Chu Mo, get out of here right now. This is Chen Jiwei, the original body's childhood sweetheart." Right on cue, fragmented memories flood back into his mind. They were extremely close back then. The parents even wanted them engaged. Sadly, both of their families died falling off a cliff during an expedition, leaving just the two of them alone in this cruel world to survive. Flashback Chu Mo. They say beasts drop treasures that unlock human power. I can finally hunt by myself now. I will definitely find a way to get you an awakening talent. But Chu Mo snapped. Stop acting like a saint. You're not my fiancé. If your parents didn't invite mine hunting, they wouldn't be dead right now. I know what you're thinking, right? How could he blame his fiancé and treat her like trash when she did literally everything for him? Just absolute garbage behavior. Talk about not appreciating a good thing. Anyway, Jiwei is completely drained from her previous hunt. Adding that insane one-shot attack to save him just now, her vision starts blurring fast. Losing all strength, her body collapses. Chu Mo rushes over and catches her. She's terribly injured. Looks like she just barely survived a super dangerous mission. But hearing he was in the forest, she rushed over without healing. "Are you okay?" he asks. He hasn't spoken to her in ages. Hiding her absolute shock, she struggles to push out of his arms. "I'm fine," she replies. "But when a purple lightning wolf dies, it releases a scent only its pack can track. They're coming for revenge right now. You need to run." Sure enough, deep growls echo from the woods. A whole pack of electric wolves steps out, surrounding them. Burning her very last drop of energy, she launches a preemptive strike, killing a few. But pushing past her absolute limit makes her internal injuries so much worse. Coughing up a mouthful of fresh blood, she falls backward and passes out completely. Now it's entirely up to Chu Mo. Staring at the massive wolf pack closing in, panic hits him. If a martial artist like her couldn't beat them, his weak body has absolutely zero chance of making it out alive. And now he's dragging an innocent girl down with him. Did he really cross over just to die exactly like his past life? No, there has to be a way. In pure panic, his hand accidentally grazes the dead wolf's corpse right next to him. A holographic system panel instantly pops up. Extraction system online. Harvesting mode activated. Extract what? These dead wolves? Trust me, you're gonna want to see what happens next. Alright, stick with me here. So Mac tells himself this isn't the time to hesitate. He doesn't even care what this system is. I mean, things literally can't get any worse. He yells out, "Extract, success." He just bagged a tier 2 attribute talent. System asks, "Integrate?" The second he taps yes, his whole body gets swallowed by crackling electricity. This sphere of lightning expands, larger and larger, until boom, every purple lightning wolf caught in the blast gets instantly vaporized. He can actually feel it. He just stole the beast's cultivation talent for himself. So Mac tests out a basic strike and absolutely obliterates a few more beasts. He's totally stunned. Raw power floods his veins, and the brutal pain from his injuries, completely gone. His movements feel insanely light, and the wolves' attacks suddenly look ridiculously slow. Their armor-like fur isn't a problem anymore. He can slice right through these monsters now. He thinks no. He absolutely knows he can slaughter these beasts and protect Trantic Vi. So Mac erupts with pure energy, charges straight into the pack, and wipes them all out. Now watch closely. He has no clue what his new power level is, but you and I just saw him absolutely crush it. The system panel pops up, running his combat stats. Host's base strength 1,527 Jin. Add the lightning attribute bonus, 3,089 Jin. 3,000 Jin that is literally mid-level martial disciple territory. This lightning talent is beyond terrifying. He just awakened, and his base power is already hitting 1,500. Using it doubles his lightning force. Plus, after integrating the talent, his physical body feels way tougher than before. System keeps scanning, checking extraction targets. The monthly quota is still active. Does he want to extract again? Without missing a beat, he clicks yes. He secures the purple lightning wolf's essence blood. This gets him seriously hyped. Beast essence blood? That is the absolute rarest of the rare drops. This is top-tier loot. It can massively speed up his physical body tempering process. Sure, it's from a low-level beast, but it's exactly what he needs right now. Let's see what else he can grab. He reaches for the wolf again. Error resources depleted. He can only extract from one target per month. Essence, blood, physique, talents, martial arts, he can harvest any of these from a target, but only once a month. Honestly, this wolf's tier was just way too low anyway. He really needs to choose next month's target carefully. For now, he better get Trantic Vi home. As for the wolf, the core resources are gone, but taking the meat back for a nice dinner? Not bad. You and I both know Trantic Vi was out cold all day. She finally wakes up terrified, dreaming So Mac got eaten alive. Still groggy and nursing a massive splitting headache, she spots him standing just a few feet away. He sets a bowl of soup on the table, smiling. Awake? Just waiting on the soup so we can eat. She nervously walks over. Did you make all this? Right. How did we get back? Who else would it be? You ask way too many questions. Eat first. Beast meat is great for a martial artist's recovery. She obediently sits down, but doesn't even touch her chopsticks. Only So Mac is scarfing down food like a starving tiger. The awkward silence makes him feel pretty uncomfortable, so he decides to break the ice first. Last night got really dangerous out there. Lucky for us, an expedition team passed by and saved our lives. She stays totally quiet, just picking up her chopsticks. She's basically giving him the cold shoulder. Being near him clearly makes her super uncomfortable. I am full, heading to my room. Make sure you wash the dishes when you finish eating. That beast meat will heal your wounds much faster, so eat up. Saying that, he just turns and walks away. Staring at his back, Trantic Vi feels a weird sense of loss. It all feels completely like a dream. It's the very first time he's ever cooked for her, or even talked to her normally. If this is a dream, she never wants to wake up. So Max steps into his room and breathes a huge sigh. Man, the original body owner's relationship with her was freezing cold. Neither of them knows how to act around each other. You just can't instantly play happy family out of nowhere. Whatever, stop overthinking. If he wants to survive this crazy world, he can only rely on himself. Right now, leveling up his raw strength is everything. First step, refining that rare beast blood. He absorbs the blood, and instantly feels his veins exploding. Trust me, you and I are in for a wild ride. Alright, you and I are jumping straight back in as things finally return to normal. He never expected the beast blood to hit his veins with such brutal force. It was pure agony. But right now, he has to lock in, focus up, and train until he completely absorbs every single drop. One agonizing month of grinding later, So Mac's physical stamina has skyrocketed to a whole new level. The only catch? His control over the lightning arc skill is still pretty messy. He needs way more practice. With the beast blood finally refined and completely absorbed, he wonders just how strong he actually is now. Without missing a beat, So Mac pulls up the system panel to check his new stats. The system runs the combat data. Host's base strength, 2,134, but adding the lightning attribute bonus into the mix pushes that total to an insane 4,198. Seeing those numbers, So Mac is absolutely thrilled. His raw strength alone jumped by over 600 pounds, and the energy channels throughout his entire body have drastically expanded. But the craziest part? That beast blood alone gave him an upgrade of at least 400 pounds. Not bad at all. His entire month wasn't wasted. Aside from eating and sleeping, he had literally been training like his life depended on it. But this is no time to get lazy. Sure, poor cultivation talent exists, but there are definitely people out there with way higher talent tiers. And those natural-born geniuses? The sheer speed of their progress is something he honestly can't even wrap his head around right now. Still, if he could just get his hands on an endless supply of beast blood, he could definitely reach the official martial artist realm in half a year. Meanwhile, Tran Tik Vi hasn't been slacking off either. She's been throwing herself headfirst into brutal training. But looking at her physical stamina test results, she absolutely cannot hide her disappointment. 8,635. With only 1 month left before the Academy's hunting trial kicks off, this pathetic amount of strength just isn't going to cut it. The two-headed snake is a mid-tier level 2 beast. To kill it, you need to be a true martial artist, meaning you need at least 10,000 pounds of force. Now watch closely, this is where the pressure hits her. She's still so far away. Suddenly, that terrifying nightmare of Somak being ripped apart by a beast flashes back into her mind. No way. She has to become a martial artist. Somak, just wait. Legends say the two-headed snake's heart can completely rewrite a person's physique, and she is determined to bring it back for him. The hunting trial is closing in fast. Somak spends a whole day heading to the Liu Yang security base's trade district, hunting for items that can boost his physical stats. But after wandering around, he realizes almost everyone is just selling level 1 beast corpses. Even if he extracted their stats, they wouldn't give him any better talent or physique than what he already has right now. He needs at least a level 2 beast or higher. But instead of finding good loot, Somak ends up bumping straight into Chao Qi's gang, a rich kid with zero morals. But the guy is an actual genius, and his power level already hit the absolute peak of the mid-stage martial apprentice tier, rocking 6,000 pounds of raw strength. He's been obsessed with Tran Tik Vi for ages, but she only ever has eyes for Somak. So naturally, Chao Qi views Somak as a massive thorn in his side. After he and his flunkies finish running their mouths and throwing petty insults at Somak, they smugly walk away. Before leaving, Chao Kai drops a seriously dark threat: show up to the Academy hunting trial in a month, if you actually have the guts. I know exactly what you're thinking. Chao Qi wants him dead. So Mac knows it too. He has to prepare early and strike first to gain the absolute advantage. To crush a guy like Chao Qi, hunting level 2 beasts just won't cut it anymore. He needs a level 3 target, bare minimum. But the beasts sold in the open market are way too weak. Level 3 monsters are basically non-existent around here. He has to figure something out. And right on cue, the universe answers his prayers. The Chasing Wind hunting squad has just returned. They actually managed to decapitate a terrifying level 3 beast. Everyone rush over and look. The crowd goes completely wild, rushing off to see the freshly slaughtered level 3 Earth Dragon. Caught up in the hype, Somak immediately follows the massive wave of people. It's an Earth Dragon for sure. Wait, isn't this the exact same monster that's been terrorizing the northern base? Rumor has it that thing evolved into a mid-tier level 3 beast. It brutally slaughtered tons of martial artists, even swallowing some of them completely whole. So Mac watches the Chasing Wind squad, totally unable to hide his sheer admiration. They are ridiculously strong. Even from a distance, the oppressive aura rolling off them is heavy. The crowd just keeps showering the elite squad with endless praise. Right at that moment, one of the Chasing Wind squad members steps up to make an announcement. Our Chasing Wind hunting squad possesses unmatched combat power. Captain Chasing Wind is already a mid-stage martial master, completely capable of hunting down terrifying level 3 monsters. And right now, we are actively recruiting new members. We need martial artists at the late stage or higher, but if you possess a special talent attribute, we can lower the requirement to early stage martial artist. While Somak is secretly wishing he could somehow join their ranks, the system panel suddenly lights up. Target locked mid-tier level 3 beast, the Earth Dragon. Extraction available. Do you wish to proceed? Finally found one. A smug, victorious smile spreads across Somak's face. You are my target. Meanwhile, the crowd begs to touch the beast, and that is where we leave it, trust me. You won't want to miss what insane power he extracts next. A curious guy asks a Wind Chaser hunting squad member a question. Stick with me here. The hunter happily agrees, and taking this perfect chance, Chu Mo touches the Earth Dragon, successfully securing its raw essence blood. At the exact same time, he unlocks a medium-tier cultivation physique. Rushing straight home, Chu Mo immediately starts fusing with the Earth Dragon Beast's essence blood. The fusion process this time? Absolutely brutal, way worse than before. The pain is insane, feeling like his bones are snapping. He feels a warm, soothing current spreading outward from his heart. Those shattered bones and torn meridians are actually healing up. Every single time they break and rebuild, his physical strength spikes massively. This agonizing cycle just keeps repeating until his very flesh transforms completely. As soon as the brutal fusion finally wraps up, Chu Mo tries testing out his body. He can instantly feel his striking speed is on another level. His body feels as light as a feather. Plus, his punching power is absolutely devastating now, truly worthy of a medium-tier physique. One training session now equals 10 times the power he used to get. Now he is significantly stronger. Elite talent really needs a solid physical foundation to shine. Right now, the system is calculating his battle stats. The host's base physical strength hits 2,659 pounds. Add in that lightning attribute bonus, and it reaches a crazy 5,270. His base strength just jumped by 500 pounds, and his overall cultivation speed skyrocketed right along with it. If he keeps this up, in just 1 month, his peak power could easily match a late-stage martial disciple. Now pay attention here. By the time of the Academy hunting trial, Zhou Qi, if you want me dead, I will end you first. Welcome to Liu Yang First Academy. This place has the strongest martial arts foundation and the most elite teaching staff in the entire city. Students with top-tier academic scores can actually study here all the way through high school. But if they fail the physical talent test and cannot become martial artists, they get tossed down to the dead last 5th Academy. The school regularly throws students into trial hunting experiences out in the open field. Through these brutal trials, the Academy evaluates everyone's combat performance and hands out the rewards. Today is the big hunting trial for Liu Yang First Academy. Zhou Qi just walked in, immediately soaking up shameless flattery from all his classmates. Zhou Qi is definitely the genius of our class, reaching the peak of the mid-stage this fast. Plus, he boasts 6,000 pounds of raw strength. Gaining 600 pounds of pure power in just 2 months is absolutely terrifying. Maybe after coming back from this, the Academy will officially bump him into the elite class. Zhou Qi smirks and says, "Play it cool." But suddenly another student yells out, "Hey, look over there, it is Chu Mo." How does he even have the nerve to show up? Hearing that, Zhou Qi snaps his head around, glaring as Chu Mo enters. The guy has 0 innate physical talent. Joining a hunting trial is basically a straight-up suicide mission for him. He already got dumped to the 5th Academy. Why is he here? Guess it pays to have an amazing fiancé. Chen Jiwei from the elite class is totally protecting him. Leeching off a powerful girl is a special kind of skill, honestly. Wow, so admirable. What a hero. Chu Mo clearly hears every single one of those mocking whispers and pointed fingers. Even so, he ignores the bait, choosing to walk forward in total silence. Out of nowhere, Zhou Qi steps up, blocking his path with a sneer. "Well, if it is not the trash Chu Mo, you actually had the guts to come." "What, could not wait to see me get cozy with Chen Jiwei?" I know what you are thinking. A fight? But just as the crowd eagerly waits to see Chu Mo snap, a massive armored transport vehicle suddenly rolls up. One of the lackeys panics and warns him, "Boss Qi, the teachers are finally here." Zhou Qi decides to let Chu Mo off the hook for now. He turns away, muttering, "You are incredibly lucky. But let us see if you can actually make it out of this trial alive." Then, 2 strict teachers step down from the huge vehicle. The teacher wearing glasses scans the entire crowd and yells out loudly, "All students, assemble right now. Come to me in numerical order, sign your name, and get on the bus. Hurry up, line up one by one. We will explain the details once boarded." The registration process wraps up fast. All the students are loaded onto the massive bus, leaving the academy behind. Up on the bus, the teacher with glasses makes the big announcement. "Our destination today is the wilderness zone outside the base." The wilderness zone? Wait, is it not true that only official martial artists can hunt out there? Even real martial artists struggle to survive. We are just basic disciples, so isn't this literally just throwing our lives away? Seeing all the students panicking hard, the teacher in the green shirt speaks up to calm them down. "Relax, we are only heading to the city's north side." The Earth Dragon Beast, the only rank 3 monster occupying that zone, was already killed by the Wind Chaser squad. After that, the base hired more hunter squads to completely clear the area, wiping out all rank 2 monsters and above, opening a safe 20-mile hunting zone. Trust me, you and I both know it will still be chaotic. The teacher with the glasses steps up to add that this zone is strictly locked down to level 1 beasts, making it the absolute perfect spot for the Academy's hunting trial. Let's dive right back into the madness. He and Teacher Lin are coming along as backup, but if anyone is still too scared to step up, they can walk away right now. Hearing that backup is on standby brings a huge wave of relief. Nobody backs out, and all that annoying complaining completely stops. The glasses-wearing teacher gives a small, satisfied nod. All right, time to lay down the absolute rules for this hunting trial. This entire test runs on a strict point system. Your score totally depends on the strength and the exact level of the beasts you manage to hunt down. Rewards are completely locked to the top 3 highest scorers. If you place 4th or lower, you get absolutely nothing. Harsh, right? 3rd place takes home 1 bottle of level 2 beast blood. Snag 2nd place, and you score 2 of those rare bottles. But 1st place? The Academy goes all out 3 bottles of level 2 beast blood, plus a super rare bronze tier martial arts skill manual. Absolute jackpot. A few students practically scream out in pure shock. Bronze tier martial arts, level 2 beast blood. The prize pool is insanely stacked this time around, but let us be real, everyone assumes only the genius Cha Kai can grab 1st place. Right then, the teacher in blue pulls out a specific talisman to show them. This is your emergency communication tag. If you hit fatal danger, crush it immediately. The teachers will track the signal and swoop in for a rescue. But do not just blindly rely on this little tag and think you can drop your guard out there. The wild zones are crawling with extreme danger, so lock that in your brain and move forward with serious caution. The teacher with glasses puts his hands behind his back and barks an order. This trial lasts exactly 5 days. Nobody leaves until the clock runs out. Understood? The students yell back in perfect sync, loud and clear. Meanwhile, Chao Ki just spins the talisman in his hand, looking bored. That skill manual and beast blood are already mine. One of his lackeys nervously asks, "Boss, can we stick with you and team up?" Chao Ki coldly replies, "Get out of here." Now watch closely, because things are about to get wild. So Mo smirks, glaring at Chao Kai while thinking, "You want to kill me, steal Trantix Vi, and hide behind your rich family?" Chao Ki definitely has some serious nerve, and because of that, he needs to die so Mo can rack up even more points. The guy is totally going to push deep into the wilderness. When he does, that is the absolute perfect chance to end his life. A bit later, the transport vehicle rolls straight into a massive, dense forest. Since it is their very first time in the true wild, the students are super curious, looking around and totally blown away by the epic scenery. The teacher with glasses checks the watch on his wrist. Time is up. The Academy hunting trial officially begins right now. The second those words leave his mouth, a bunch of students leap off the truck, sprinting violently in every single direction. The glasses-wearing teacher watches them scatter and evaluates the group. "We actually have some pretty decent seeds this year." The teacher in blue chimes in, "You mean Chao Kai, right? After all, he has the massive resources of the Chao family backing his every move." The teacher with glasses nods in agreement. Yeah, anyone at his same level definitely is not a match for him. So Mo is the very last one off the truck, prompting the teacher to ask, "So Mo, are you entirely sure about this? For an ordinary guy out here in the wild, your survival rate is basically just 1%. I know what you are thinking. They totally underestimate him. The blue shirt teacher warns that normal people cannot handle level 1 beasts, telling him to think twice. Thanks. But what if I actually am that 1 exact percent? Dropping that line, so Mo picks a direction and immediately dashes off. The teacher with glasses frowns hard. This kid. Something feels a bit different about him. The blue shirt teacher laughs. "Oh man, I got a feeling this hunting trial is going to be incredibly entertaining to watch." Vitality does not just let humans hold incredible power and awaken their hidden talents. It also causes wild beasts and even plants to mutate and grow. But hey, extreme danger almost always comes packed with massive opportunities. Just like the Wind Chaser hunting squad, scooping up insane resources by hunting out here in the brutal wild. Since there is absolutely no sign of Chao Ki anywhere right now, he figures he might as well hunt some beasts first to seriously test out his current combat abilities. Making his choice, So Mo starts carefully exploring the area step by step, though he has not spotted a single beast just yet. While complaining, a massive shadow suddenly completely covers So Mo. He quickly looks up to see a terrifying monster opening its razor-filled jaws, diving down to bite him. So Mo dodges the monster's brutal bite and immediately flips backward high into the air. With just one quick glance, So Mo recognizes the monster as a low-tier level 1 beast, the Ironbone Wolf. The Ironbone Wolf is a beast with crazy high attack speed but absolutely terrible stamina. The normal hunting method is to totally drain its endurance by constantly harassing and avoiding it. That is textbook logic, but you and I know So Mo operates differently. Smirking, he gathers lightning power in his fist and completely smashes the monster down. The Ironbone Wolf only manages a tragic yelp before getting totally obliterated, letting him easily absorb the beast's blood. Alright, stick with me. His new lightning power pushes his strength past 6,000 pounds. That is late-stage martial artist level. This Ironbone Wolf, not even a real threat. Wasting his collection system on low-level beasts is pointless. He will just use the Academy methods to drain this monster's blood directly. Muttering to himself, our boy pulls out a simple glass tube. He squats by the wolf to collect it, but before he can finish, that fresh blood smell attracts a whole pack of monsters. They all rush him at once. Honestly, this is exactly what he wanted. Gripping his lightning-covered dagger, he turns around. Perfect time to use them as target practice. He charges right into the slaughter. Not a single monster can survive even one strike. By sunset, he finishes off a massive snake, a mid-tier level 1 beast. That makes 7 total dead today. He gathered 5 portions of beast blood. Good enough for now, time to absorb some power. He downs a full tube of blood. Feeling his body get stronger, he falls into deep thought. This beast blood is seriously good stuff. Last time, it boosted his strength by 100 pounds. Too bad he can only use it every 3 days. If only he could drink more. Now here is where it gets crazy. Pay attention. Someone screams for help. A student runs toward him, yelling about a berserk giant bear. In seconds, the trees behind the guy absolutely shatter. A massive bear explodes onto the scene, roaring so hard the student trips and falls. His eyes light up with pure excitement. A top-tier level 1 berserk giant bear. The Academy records say wherever these bears show up, a nest of origin spirit bees is nearby. That special spirit honey heavily reduces the cooldown time for digesting and absorbing his beast blood. This is literally a dream come true. While he thinks, the fallen student begs him to fight it together instead of calling for backup. They can split the spirit honey later. Ignoring the kid entirely, he draws his weapon. Eyes locked on the bear, he is totally ready for war. He absolutely needs that honey. The berserk giant bear instantly swings a massive paw at the poor student. Screaming in pain, the guy rolls a few times, landing right next to him. No response. Honestly, who knows if he is even alive? Right after, he shouts right at the giant bear, challenging it to a real fight. Gripping his blade, he charges straight in. This giant bear has absolutely insane physical strength. He cannot win a pure contest of power. He needs to play this smart and blast electricity directly into its brain and internal organs. Knowing the huge risk, he relies on pure speed to circle around the massive beast. Finding a tiny opening, he violently stabs the bear, channeling his epic lightning talent straight through the wound and deep into its massive body. You and I both know what happens next. The shocking pain just pushes this monster right into complete terrifying rage mode. Not taking any chances, he desperately dashes backward to create distance. But the bear swings a heavy paw right at him. Nowhere left to hide, he quickly blocks. The impact slams his body into the ground like a literal cannonball. Ignoring the crushing pain, he pushes himself up. After going berserk, its speed and attack power are off the charts. His own speed is too slow, and his attacks are lacking. If this drags on, even without getting hit, his stamina will completely drain away. Suddenly, he notices a giant foot about to crush him into a pancake. Here it comes. Startled, he pushes off his legs with everything he has, barely escaping the devastating stomp in time. Playing defense will not work. He needs an opening to interrupt its combo, strike its eyes, and totally cripple its movement. Deciding instantly, he blasts lightning right into the bear's eyes. Blinding pain forces the monster to cover its face. This is his absolute best chance. He lunges forward, violently stabbing its foot. That is where we leave it, trust me. You want to see what happens next. Stick with me here. He unleashes his full lightning power. The giant bear roars in pure agony, furiously slamming its massive paws right at Somak's back. The devastating impact makes Somak cough up blood, his consciousness fading fast. Is his body really just giving out right at this crucial moment? Or does he still have some fight left? Suddenly, a massive surge of raw power erupts deep from within. Somak's broken body, ripping his consciousness right back to reality. He quickly figures it out. This intense feeling must be the blood beast. Directly absorbed blood beasts aren't nearly as pure as the ones collected by the system, but now that he's finally absorbing it, his body's strength is rapidly regenerating back to normal. His power levels spike again, so Mac completely regains his confidence, staring straight at the violent giant bear as he boldly mutters. We still don't know who's winning this. Facing the giant bear's next brutal attack, so Mac makes a split-second decision and leaps high into the air to safely dodge. Drop dead, you miserable monster, so Mac loudly roars. Channeling absolutely every ounce of his strength into a single punch, he smashes it down onto the giant bear without a single second of hesitation. This time, Somak successfully manages to kill the violent giant bear. Completely exhausted, he starts panting heavily. Pulling out his blood-soaked fist, he takes a breath and sighs. A Tier 1 high-class magical beast is seriously on a whole nother level. Just one strike can leave a person completely defenseless. If it weren't for the Blood Beast's power this time around, he'd probably be lying dead right here on the ground. So Mac quickly realizes that raw speed is absolutely crucial. Now watch closely, this is where things get wild. If he could find a wind talent, it would perfectly cover his weakness and boost his combat power. But suddenly, Somak feels intense, killing intent closing in. He snaps his head around and spots the newcomer. It is Chao Kai. Witnessing Chao Ki's insane speed, Somak thinks to himself, that is way too fast, practically a blur. Chao Ki actually has a wind attribute talent. Arriving on the scene, Chao Ki casually inspects the giant bear's corpse and the dead student on the ground before finally speaking up. No wonder I felt it was so incredibly noisy over here from afar. Turns out someone ran into a violent giant bear. It looks like this poor student was fighting the beast to the death, but tragically, they both ended up completely destroying each other instead, basically handing a massive free win to a total loser like you. Chao Kai forms a green orb in his hand, flashing a dangerous smile at Somak. Talk about perfect timing. Somak, I finally caught you right where I want you. Chao Ki starts spinning a fake story. What an absolute tragedy. This poor classmate encountered a violent giant bear. After fighting with everything he had, he finally killed it. And you, taking advantage of your classmate's weakened state, cowardly attacked and murdered him in cold blood. And I just happened to be passing by and witnessed your incredibly cruel, heartless actions. I know what you're thinking, this guy is absolutely shameless. Feeling extremely furious, I execute the utter scum, Somak. Now tell me, isn't that just a fantastic little story? Seeing Somak stay perfectly silent, Chao Kai openly spreads his arms. Honestly, you and I don't really have any deep grudge. But unfortunately for you, you are Tran Tich V's fiancé. That is supposed to be your biggest blessing. But for a weakling like you, it is actually a fatal curse. So Mac quietly mutters, you are totally right. Chao Kai, looking surprised, asks, what did you say? Don't tell me you realize you are about to die, so you are agreeing with me just to desperately beg for your life? Nope, not happening at all. You completely misunderstood my actual meaning. What I mean is, we really don't have any deep grudge against each other. But Tran Tik Vi happens to actually be my beautiful fiancé. So I just have to send you straight to the afterlife. After speaking, Somak actively charges at Chao Kai. Chao Kai quickly jumps to the side to safely dodge. When he sees violent sparks of lightning clinging to Somak's weapon, he immediately panics and shouts out a desperate question. What? You actually possess a lightning attribute talent? You have been pretending to be completely normal this entire time? So fast. Is this the true speed of a wind talent? While Somak is still amazed, he suddenly notices Chao Kai gripping a blade, using wind power to slash right at him. I can't dodge this. Cursing internally, Somak hurriedly unleashes his own lightning talent to block the incoming strike. The two clashing elements instantly create a small explosion right in midair. Even so, a few stray lightning bolts manage to shoot right toward Chao Kai. It broke through my wind net? I absolutely cannot afford to get hit by his attack. Making a split-second decision, Chao Ki uses the surrounding tree trunks, quickly leaping away to escape. He finally stops on a massive branch, glaring right down at Somak and shouting, how the hell did you break my void-shattering blade? Your power level is actually at the late-stage martial disciple realm. You are officially known as a complete piece of trash who can't even cultivate. How is this kind of insane, ridiculous power even possible for you? So Mac boldly replies, what you see isn't always the whole truth. Can you really escape this fight? Something instantly clicks deep inside his mind. I have gone through special training for precise control over my lightning talent. This is the absolute perfect time to put it to real use. So Mac activates his talent, forming several explosive energy spheres and firing them straight toward Chao Ki's position. So what do you and I make of this power jump? Seeing the lightning spheres flying at him, Chao Ki panics, realizing this talent control completely outclasses a late-stage martial disciple. He doesn't dare to block it head-on. Instead, he uses his massive speed advantage, constantly bouncing back and forth between the thick trees to desperately dodge the barrage. Stick with me here! Dodging, he scoffs, so what if you are a late-stage martial apprentice? I have a wind attribute talent. You cannot even touch me. Chu Mo stays entirely silent, just coldly controlling his lightning orbs to relentlessly chase down Zhou Qi. But then, Zhou Qi just vanishes from Chu Mo's line of sight. In a split second, he appears right behind him, swinging his blade down hard. "But I can slice you up!" Chu Mo's eyes shoot wide open as he glances back. The ambush is so sudden, he only has time to tilt his body to the side, barely dodging death. Even so, a small cut slices across his cheek. "Haha, this is the gap between us. Die, you trash Chu Mo!" Zhou Qi bursts into a maniacal, excited laugh. He swings his blade like an absolute madman. Using his insane speed, he flickers in and out of shadows, attacking from every angle, leaving Chu Mo struggling to defend. Chu Mo has no choice. He triggers his talent, generating a passive double net of crackling lightning all around him. He knows Zhou Qi is actually right. Having insane attack power means absolutely nothing if you cannot land a single hit. Plus, dealing with that insane speed, even if the guy only lands tiny scratches each time, he will eventually grind Chu Mo down to absolutely nothing. It is not just his speed. Zhou Qi's reflexes are way beyond any normal person. That makes Chu Mo even more determined. He absolutely has to steal Zhou Qi's wind attribute talent. Zhou Qi wants him dead. Now watch closely, this is where it gets good. No matter how he moves, his final strike zone is near Chu Mo. That makes his path entirely predictable. Realizing this, Chu Mo keeps his defensive lightning net active around him. At the same time, he closes his eyes to feel it. The last place he appeared was the 9 o'clock direction. His attack rhythm hits every 4 to 6 seconds. Following his combat logic, Chu Mo calculates exactly where the next strike will come from in his head. Chu Mo's eyes snap wide open. He shapes a massive bow out of pure lightning element, draws it back toward an empty spot, and roars out, "Right here!" Blazing with extreme speed, the lightning arrow locks perfectly onto Zhou Qi's exact current position. "There is no escape," he mutters. Zhou Qi does not even have time to react. He can only watch helplessly as the sparking arrow completely fills up his entire vision. A miserable scream rips through the air. The lightning arrow blasts right into his chest, launching his body backward until he smashes hard into a massive tree. He coughs up blood, gasping. "No, impossible." Chu Mo lets out a heavy breath. Prediction successful. Thank God, dragging this fight out would have been terrible. Zhou Qi is completely wrecked now, unable to do anything but slump on the dirt. Staring at Chu Mo with absolute terror in his eyes, he screams, "You are nothing but garbage. How could I possibly lose to a total loser like you? Just you wait, Chu Mo. Wait until I get back." But Chu Mo just walks over and stomps down on his chest, shutting him up instantly. The look in his eyes? Exactly like looking at a dead man. You saw that look too, right? Pure chills. Zhou Qi finally gets it. His face twists in disbelief as he stammers. You want to kill me?" Chu Mo stays silent. He simply channels deadly lightning right into his weapon. That confirms his worst nightmare. He starts screaming threats at the top of his lungs. "You cannot kill me! My dad is an absolute beast, a peak late-stage martial artist. If you kill me, he will never let you get away with this." Seeing Chu Mo still silent, Zhou Qi desperately hugs his leg, begging, "Spare my life. I have amazing treasures on me. I can give them all to you." "Too loud," Chu Mo whispers. Without a single ounce of hesitation, he slices Zhou Qi's neck, sending him straight to the underworld. The system rings out. Target Zhou Qi is available for extraction. Initiate collection? Chu Mo immediately selects yes. Just like that, a glowing orb floats out from the corpse right into his hand. Bagging the wind attribute talent, Chu Mo finds a quiet, empty spot nearby. Sitting cross-legged, he starts the fusion process. It takes barely any time before it finishes up. Chu Mo suddenly snaps his eyes wide open. His entire body dashes back and forth like a literal gust of wind with extreme speed, leaving him absolutely hyped up. Too fast. It feels like my body has merged with the wind itself. His speed has easily tripled. Even his body control and raw agility have completely leveled up. Done testing his new powers, Chu Mo lands softly back beside Zhou Qi's lifeless body. A wind talent truly lives up to the hype. Incredibly powerful. I wonder what else I can manage to collect from him. Full of anticipation, Chu Mo stretches his hand out toward the corpse and activates the system's ability once again. Instantly, a brand new book appears in his grip. Scanning it quickly, he gasps out loud, "The void-shattering saber technique? A bronze-tier martial arts skill? Wait a second, does the extraction skill not just steal talents and physiques, but literally every single combat skill the dead guy learned while he was alive too? So what do you and I make of this?" Chu Mo flashes a massive grin. "This system is broken. First place in this trial is totally in the bag." "All right, you and I are diving right in." A bronze-tier skill book, and Chu Mo instantly absorbs it. After unlocking the knowledge, he masters a brand new technique. He stands there, completely lost in thought. The void-breaking blade has 3 full stages. Hitting just the first layer wraps the weapon in deadly aura. Reaching stage 3 creates a solid blade of pure light. Zhou Qi was definitely stuck at stage 1. His weapon barely had a glow, but the destructive power was still no joke. If he masters the 3rd stage, this wind blade can strike from 30 meters away. Honestly, that is a top-tier skill to have. Suddenly, his system panel flashes right in front of him. A special target item has been detected. A prompt asks if he wants to collect it. Special loot? Yeah, obviously he is taking that. The system confirms a successful pull. He just scored a treasure map. Wait, a treasure map? His crazy collection system can actually pull physical items like this? That is absolutely wild. He really wants to know what kind of secret makes this thing so special. Without hesitating, Chu Mo unrolls it. He gasps in absolute shock. The map clearly points straight to an earth dragon lair. Now watch closely. The notes say this monster lair hides a massive secret waiting to be uncovered. A 10,000-year water spirit. Rumors point to even more hidden treasures buried there. They say martial artists who consume this instantly boost their raw physical talent. An absolute god-tier natural treasure. Talk about an epic payout. He's hunting that earth dragon. Chu Mo glances down at Zhou Qi's corpse. The Liu Yangzhou family backs this guy, and they are way too strong right now. Nobody can ever know he did this. Squatting down, he smirks and says, "Guess I've been hanging around here long enough." Hey, time to loot the body first. Can't let any good gear just go to waste. Night falls over his tree hollow hideout. The very last drop of Origin Spirit B fluid finally drips down. Weighing the small bottle, Chu Mo sighs. A massive hive, yet he only scored half a pound of essence. That's 10 days of cultivation support at most. He quickly lays out a cloth on the dirt. Time to tally up today's epic loot. Counting the fluid, he bagged 21 bottles of beast blood. 6 vials came straight from that raging giant bear, and 8 more off his unfortunate dead classmate. The other 7 were from random monsters. But weirdly, Zhou Qi only had a blade and pouch. Chu Mo holds the pouch up to the light. The texture totally feels like rough beast skin. Thinking back, when they first crossed paths today, Zhou Qi wasn't carrying a weapon. So where did that blade even come from? You and I both know what this means, right? He channels his energy, and boom, the pouch snaps open. Inside is a completely separate pocket dimension, holding an absolute mountain of origin stones and extra gear. Since the world's massive change, origin stones are special ores naturally overflowing with pure energy. Martial artists absorb this power, making it the ultimate currency. Chu Mo practically yells out in excitement. An actual spatial storage bag. The Zhou family is rich. A normal martial master could never afford this. Oh man, origin stones. His original body was completely broke, and this is exactly what he needed. There are at least 600 stones here, plus 11 portions of beast blood, 3 being level 2. This Zhou Qi guy was a walking gold mine. With a quick shout, Chu Mo stores everything back inside. Gripping the storage bag tightly, Chu Mo realizes something important. This secret cannot be exposed. Almost nobody in a small place like Luoyang could afford this. He unrolls the bee fluid, whispering softly. Time to test out how crazy this essence really is. Chu Mo knocks back a solid mouthful. He shuts his eyes to absorb it, totally unlike beast blood. A warm, electric current surges right through him, instantly healing up every single tiny scratch and wound. The absorption finishes incredibly fast. Clenching his fists, he laughs. Just a tiny sip of that stuff. Normally, processing beast blood takes 3 whole days, but this, completely digested in mere seconds. If he had an infinite supply of this fluid, he could devour beast blood without any limits. Pumping himself up, Chu Mo pulls out another blood vial. All right, let's keep going. He follows the system right at dawn. Trust me, you'll want to see this epic dragon raid. Alright, let's dive into this wild manhwa. He arrives at the Earth Dragon's massive lair, but looking around, it seems completely investigated and completely cleaned out already. Any normal person would never guess a heavenly treasure was still hiding right here. The Chow family is seriously impressive, hiding clues right under the investigation team's noses. So Mac walks deep into the cave for about 10 minutes, when suddenly, his system alerts him. The system says there is a hidden wall on the right. A bit skeptical, so Mac touches the exact spot. Sure enough, it is purely an illusion. Was this a trick, or entirely naturally formed? Unbelievable! His collection system can even break right through complex visual illusions. Absolutely epic. Hidden directly behind that wall is a small secret cave, holding a legendary 1,000-year spirit marrow pool. Plus, there is a tiny pearl just floating in midair. Unable to hide his curiosity, so Mac steps closer to get a better look. What in the world is this thing? Maybe a companion item to the spirit marrow? Legend says absolute heavenly treasures always spawn with spiritual items. He decides to grab it first and figure it out later. So Mac pockets the mysterious pearl, turning his attention back to the marrow pool. How does he use this again? Just soak his own flesh straight into it? Without overthinking it, so Mac strips off his clothes and dives right into the 1,000-year spirit marrow pool. Soon enough, his entire body starts transforming. It is so weird, bringing this blurry, deeply sorrowful feeling. Now, pay attention here. It feels like 1,000 years of life and death emotions are completely packed inside him. Converging into a wildly powerful force, an unstoppable fighting spirit surges violently straight through his veins. It is incredibly heavy, carrying the endless raw stench of fresh blood. Once the intense absorption is fully complete, so Mac pushes himself up to leave the pool. But with his new insane strength, instead of just stepping out, he literally shoots high into the air. Honestly, he is totally not used to this yet. The wind attribute has completely merged with his physical body, making his own weight feel almost non-existent now. If that is true, what about his other stats? He immediately checks his system attributes. High-level training physique. His attribute talents, now high-level lightning and high-level wind. Absolute beast. That 1,000-year spirit marrow is absolutely legendary. Even absorbing 4 full bottles of beast blood last night could not push his base strength up to 500. Yet right now, both his physical training stats and natural talents just leveled up immensely. Even though this spirit marrow only works perfectly on the first use, taking extra is just smart backup planning for the future. Whatever is left behind here might just bless someone else who is fated to find it. After carefully bottling up a little extra 1,000-year spirit marrow, so Mac instantly leaves the hidden cave to continue his fierce beast hunt. The trial still has 3 full days left. Before this hunting test officially ends, he absolutely needs to push his overall strength to a completely new level. 3 whole days finally pass. The remaining students return to the main assembly point to report back, while the strict teachers carefully evaluate their final scores based on the newly gathered loot. You and I both know they expected Chao Kai to win, right? But instead, So Mac casually swaggers right out of the dark forest. Wait, so Mac actually made it entirely out of the dangerous hunting zone alive? Ignoring their totally shocked and intensely curious stares, he walks straight up to the official score registration desk. After counting his loot, the blue shirt teacher loudly announces the final score, 103 points. The entire crowd of students absolutely loses their minds once again. What? 103 points? How is that even possible for a total loser like him? Did he just scavenge someone else's leftovers? The glasses-wearing teacher suddenly checks his watch and shouts, "Time is up!" The student hunting trial is officially over, and everyone knows exactly what Chao Ki's mysterious absence actually means. Panic starts spreading through the crowd. Chao Ki never showed up. Did something seriously terrible happen to him? They all believe. So Mac definitely just scavenged the beast materials that Chao Kai had already hunted. Almost instantly, all heavy suspicion aggressively shifts straight onto So Mac. Right then, the glasses-wearing teacher glares sternly at So Mac. "Did you see Chao Kai out in the forest?" "Nope," So Mac replies perfectly calmly. "Are you still refusing to tell the real truth? Then where exactly did you get all those beast materials?" "Obviously, I hunted them myself." The glasses teacher wants to aggressively interrogate him further, but the blue shirt teacher quickly steps in. "Just calm down." It is tragic about Chao Kai, but So Mac is just too weak to kill him. Yeah, you are exactly right. If that is truly the case, the glasses teacher turns back to face the eager students. "I officially announce that the absolute champion of this hunting trial is So Mac. Your trial rewards will be distributed back at the academy. Whatever killed Chao Ki is still out there, so we really cannot afford to stay here any longer. Everyone get on the bus. We are leaving right now." The terrified students immediately obey, rushing aboard. Before So Mac boards, the glasses teacher pulls him aside. "Chao Kai is completely dead, yet you brought back massive amounts of loot. The Chao family will absolutely never believe you had nothing to do with his brutal death. Grab your rewards and lock your doors for a few days." And that is where we leave it. Trust me, you are going to want to see what happens tonight. Let's jump into the madness. Listening to the report, Chao Than looks absolutely furious. "You're telling me my son Chao Kai vanished during the academy hunting trial and not even his bones are left?" Kang Niem, an early-stage martial artist, replies while trembling in absolute fear. "Yes, that's exactly what the academy said. They couldn't find the young master's body anywhere. He might have been completely devoured by a wild beast. But the weirdest part? The champion of this trial was supposedly a complete trash tier student who can't even cultivate. And because of a girl, that guy always had bad blood with the young master. A useless reject winning first place? Absolutely ridiculous. Chao Thon gets so insanely angry that his gentle petting turns into crushing his white leopard pet's head. If that punk really had something to do with this, then the secret treasure I sent Chao Kai to find must be in his hands right now. Thinking about this, Chao Thon instantly snaps an order. Something smells completely wrong here. Go capture that kid and bring him to me immediately. Meanwhile, Somak walks into an abandoned area right outside the base and opens his system window to check his stats. The system calculates his combat data. Host's base physical strength is 9,900 pounds, but with the lightning attribute enhancement active, his total power jumps to a massive 19,700 pounds. Absolute beast numbers. Watch closely, because things are changing fast. It's been nearly a month since the trial. By day 15, his base power had already hit 9,900 pounds. He's literally just one single step away from the true martial artist realm. But for the next 10 days, nothing. Zero growth at all. Thinking about it, he realizes he's officially hit the absolute peak limit for a martial apprentice. Time to switch things up using his hunting trial reward. So Mac pulls out the bronze tier technique, cloud smoke steps, and decides to start practicing his movement skills. He focuses most of his origin energy into his feet, spreading the rest across his body. East, east, south, bam. So Mac totally missteps and almost completely wipes out. You don't just control your energy, you also have to perfectly manage your breathing. Every tiny physical shift matters, even rapidly controlling your own heartbeat. Honestly, for a normal martial artist, just getting the basics down would be a total nightmare. But since he just scored that wind attribute talent, this footwork technique literally feels like it was custom made exactly for him. Talk about a major breakthrough. With barely any effort at all, so Max starts effortlessly leaping across the rooftops like absolute gravity doesn't even exist. Short distance instant teleportation is unlocked. Combine that with the crazy afterimage effect, and this is going to be insanely broken in actual real combat. Let's go again, pushing himself. So Mac keeps practicing hard until he's completely drained. Just as he's about to head back, Kong Niem suddenly blocks his path. You're Somak, right? This old man is here on the master's orders, formally inviting you to join him for dinner tonight. So Mac instantly goes on high alert. I don't know your master, and I definitely don't want to. So please back off right now. I'm heading home. My master is Chao Thon, a late-stage martial artist with serious power. He'll probably become a martial master soon, making him a true heavy hitter in Liu Yang base. Are you really going to disrespect him and crush his reputation like this? Chao Thon, Chao Qi's dad. Just as expected, the Chao family finally has their eyes on him. I know what you're thinking, this guy just made a huge mistake. So Mac flat out replies, if your master came himself, maybe I'd care. But you're nothing. You foolish little brat. Doing things the hard way when I gave you an easy out. Since you want to play it that way, this old man will drag you to the master myself. Saying that, Kong Niem fiercely lunges straight at Somak. Instantly using his brand new movement skill, Somak uses short-distance teleportation, perfectly dodging the old man's brutal attack. Such incredible footwork. Wait a second, you can actually cultivate now? Kong Niem glares at Somak, and then his eyes suddenly lock onto something super familiar. It's the exact same battle blade that belonged to young master Chao Qi. The master was absolutely right. The young master's death really was your doing all along. Furious, Kong Niem lunges forward again, trying to violently grab Somak. But his hands grab nothing but thin air. He completely missed, hitting a pure afterimage. This time Somak stops hiding. He intentionally unleashes the level 1 void-shattering blade directly at Kong Niem. Impossible. You brat. How do you know the young master's signature blade technique? What did you do to him? Screaming, Kang Niem furiously unleashes his fire-pierced claw attack right at Somak. You really want to know? Then let me send you down to hell so you can ask him yourself. Seeing Somak's insane blade path, Kong Niem screams out. You have the exact same wind attribute talent as the young master, but how is your void-shattering blade even stronger than his ever was? I'll just capture you and torture the answers out. Early-stage martial artist power, fire attribute talent, but honestly, it's completely low-tier garbage. My own talent is high tier now, and my physical stats are absolutely elite. There's literally zero reason to be scared of this guy. So Mac calmly evaluates his opponent, fakes a crucial opening to bait Kang Niem in, and completely obliterates the old man with his heavenly lightning strike. An early-stage martial artist like him didn't stand a single chance against me. Looks like my current raw power can easily rival a mid-stage martial artist, or maybe even heavily contest a late-stage one. But with Chao Thon locking his sights firmly onto me now, there's a massive chance that Powerhouse is going to attack me himself. So what do you and I think happens next? He's a veteran late-stage martial artist, and honestly, I might not survive that impending fight. Alright, stick with me here. If our guy wants to level up from a trainee to a true martial artist fast, he has to dive deep into the wilderness and break his limits in real combat. First thing the next morning, Chu Mo heads straight to the martial artist supply hall. He needs to gear up with all the essentials before marching out on his wilderness crusade. Speaking of the supply hall, this place is an absolute must-visit for any martial artist before heading outside the walls to hunt. Fighters come here to trade gear and intel. They can also pick up custom bounties posted by big factions or regular people, all just to score those sweet quest rewards. If you want to survive the wild and train, you absolutely must pack enough pills, weapons, and daily supplies. It is best to buy everything you need for the jungle up front. Thinking about this, Chu Mo stares up at the massive shop right in front of him, the Emerald Pavilion. It looks like it is owned by the famous Emerald Merchant Alliance. So, without a second thought, he walks right in, using Zhou Qi's prime stones to buy all the necessary survival gear. Just as he is about to leave, he hears a loud commotion nearby. "Stop bothering me, kid. Seriously, just go away already." It is not that I do not want to help you, but your request is simply way too impossible. A two-headed python is a mid-tier level 2 savage beast. You would need at least a mid-stage martial artist for that. The pink-haired girl just keeps tugging his shirt, desperately begging. "Please, I am begging you. I will give you my beast eggs and all my stones. Go find someone else!" The fighter rejects her flat out, shoving her to the ground. The curious crowd gathering around them immediately starts pointing fingers and whispering. So tragic. She lost her parents so young, and her foster parents who took her in for years are now horribly sick too. Curing them requires the heart of a two-headed python, but that is a mid-tier level 2 savage beast who would dare take that risk? If she had a massive payout, maybe a mid-tier expert would take the job, but all she has are some weird beast eggs that haven't hatched in over 10 years. Now watch closely. Chu Mo hears this and thinks a mid-tier level 2 beast? With my current strength, honestly, it might actually be worth testing my limits on this. I remember that the two-headed python lives in the Great Shu Mountains, which happens to be my exact destination for this trip anyway. This kid is pretty pitiful. Since I am here, I might as well help out. Making up his mind, Chu Mo walks over to the girl. "Is your quest still open?" Pink hair nervously replies, "Yes, it is still open. You want to take it?" "Yes." Hearing this, she bursts into happy tears, thanking him endlessly. Chu Mo grabs her hand, smiles, and gently pats her head. "Go home and wait for my good news." Chu Mo's heroic gesture sends the watching crowd into another massive uproar. Someone is actually accepting that suicide mission? The kid has some serious guts. Hey, maybe he just saw the kid crying too loudly and stepped in to comfort her. Meanwhile, an old woman and a young lady observe everything from a distance, the young girl staring intently at Chu Mo. The old woman finally asks, "Miss, do you need me to go stop that young man?" "If someone else already took it, there is no need for us to act," the young lady smoothly replies. The old woman nods in understanding, and then cannot help but praise him. "You know, that young man's character really is not bad at all. You and I both know this quest is basically a lost cause, yet he stepped up anyway, incredibly rare these days." The young lady keeps her eyes locked on Chu Mo, smiling. Exactly. With all the prep work done, 2 days later, Chu Mo heads straight out to the Great Shu Mountains wilderness. The 20-mile radius around the Luyang base is generally a pretty safe zone, serving as the standard everyday training ground for all the academy students stationed there. But the real wilderness closest to Luyang base is the Great Shu Mountains, located hundreds of miles away. This dangerous spot is also the absolute best place for local Luyang martial artists to train and hunt for supplies. After half a day of constant fighting against dozens of iron wire mantises, low-tier level 2 savage beasts, his intense training results are finally showing up loud and clear. Right now, boosted by his lightning talent, Chu Mo's raw physical strength easily hits 50,000 pounds. He has fully broken his blade skills into the second stage. His smoke step technique is also nearing a breakthrough. Chu Mo keeps slaughtering the savage beasts, secretly making up his mind. Once he breaks through to become a true martial artist, he is hunting down that two-headed python. At the exact same time, over at Luyang First Academy, the massive Grand Trial event announcement is currently taking place. Some students glance at a group of strangers standing not too far away and start whispering. "Hey, who are those random guys over there? They definitely look like people we shouldn't mess with." Not letting his students wonder any longer, Shen Qing, a grandmaster martial artist, the principal of Luyang First Academy, steps up onto the podium to speak. "My dear students, Trust me, you'll want to see this. This hunting competition is different from previous years. This year, the Luoyang base. Alright, you and I are jumping into this joint city trial with Jiangfeng base. For this massive hunting exam, it is not just our academy. Every martial arts school and dojo here is joining forces with all the martial artist students from Jiangfeng base. What? A two-city trial? Every single academy and dojo from both bases is jumping in. The scale of this exam is absolutely massive. The trial rewards are insane, but the danger level is through the roof. Sensing the students freaking out, Shenjing speaks up. I know exactly what you guys are worried about. We are holding this exam around Great Shu Mountain. I do not even need to explain how deadly that place actually is. So, you can form your own teams or even back out entirely. But remember, huge risks mean huge payouts. Both major bases are offering some seriously heavy rewards for this one. The top 10 teams or individuals get unlimited prizes, storage bags, martial skills, beast blood, and prime stones. Hearing this, the whole crowd gasps. The ones getting the most hyped about this trial are obviously the strongest fighters in the room. That includes the elite class of Luoyang First Academy, which is exactly where Chen Shiwei studies. While all her classmates are completely losing their minds over the exam, Chen Shiwei just stays completely silent. She scans the room, and after making sure a certain someone is not there, she quietly breathes a sigh of relief. Good thing Chu Mo is not here. A deadly trial like this would crush him. 3 days ago, I finally broke through to martial artist, and my power skyrocketed. I have to secure top 10 this time, and hunt a two-headed python for its gall. That is the only way to give Chu Mo a real chance to change his terrible talent. Now pay attention here. A loud shout breaks her focus. Xu Guang, the Jiangfeng base genius, is literally stomping on some Luoyang base students. He smirks and laughs. Man, Luoyang base is really running out of actual talent, huh? You guys do not even have a single person who can fight. I heard you all wet your pants at Great Shu Mountain. His annoying goons chime in. Our strongest genius has high-level blade talent. Xu Guang is already a mid-tier martial artist. You guys should feel honored to have Xu Guang personally call out how completely useless Luoyang base is. 2 other Luoyang students absolutely lose it and scream back. What did you just say? You dare look down on us? Once the trial starts, we are going to teach you what happens when you run your mouth. Xu Guang just clicks his tongue, then instantly swings his blade straight at them. Luckily, Chen Shiwei dashes in and blocks the strike, totally saving their lives just in time. She glares at him coldly. Are you Xu Guang? Fighting is strictly banned in the academy. Xu Guang looks at her with total interest. I never expected tiny Luoyang base to have such a stunning beauty. Ha! Suddenly, a female teacher yells out, What are you doing? Stop fighting! We are leaving! Xu Guang scoffs coldly. Even though he is super annoyed, he lowers his weapon. Before walking off, he smirks. Little beauty, we will see you at Great Shu Mountain. Now I know what you are thinking. Where is our main character? After grinding at Great Shu Mountain, Chu Mo finally broke through to martial artist. Physical strength at 17,710 units. Wind and lightning attributes pushing 71,235 units. With power like this, using my wind and lightning attributes, I can completely hold my own against mid-tier martial artist opponents right now. Now, I do not need to fear Zhou Cheng anymore. I can basically head back. But right before he leaves, Chu Mo spots 2 glowing red eyes hiding in the shadows. He originally planned to train while tracking down the two-headed python. Turns out, his breakthrough made so much noise, it lured the beast right to him. The insanely massive two-headed python slithers out, stopping right in front of Chu Mo. Mid-tier level 2? No, that aura means it is a high-level beast, comparable to a late-stage martial artist. While Chu Mo quietly sizes up this absolute monster of a snake, it gets impatient and spits pure venom at him. Chu Mo quickly jumps backwards to dodge. But right then, his danger sense flares. He turns around and sees the python's second head already waiting with its mouth wide open. And that is where we leave it. He instantly shifts direction, stepping right on its fangs to leap into the air. Right now, the two-headed snake's remaining head spits out purple smoke. Poison gas, not good at all. This toxic smoke causes instant human paralysis, so Mac immediately activates his wind attribute Phantom Smoke Step to completely blow away the two-headed snake's poison, while his mind rapidly calculates his next move. Stick with me here. These 2 snakeheads coordinate their attacks absolutely perfectly. Every single attack forces him right back toward the other head's strike zone. He absolutely cannot let this beast figure out his movement pattern. Exploiting. So Mac's split second of distraction, the two-headed snake closes in like lightning and snaps its massive jaws right at him. Pure luck saves him. The beast only manages to rip off a piece of Somac's shirt instead of his flesh. His current speed just isn't cutting it. If this drags on, he's only going to burn through his stamina. No more hiding. He focuses all his remaining essence energy into his legs, pushing his absolute limits to break through to the martial artist tier and forcefully activate the second level of his phantom smoke step. The two-headed beast opens its jaws for another strike, but right when it thinks it finally got him, don't blink, because Somac instantly vanishes. While the snake frantically looks around trying to find its prey, Somac appears completely out of nowhere and cleanly slices off one of its heads. Seeing this, the final head completely loses its mind and violently sprays venom at Somac. By focusing all his essence, he successfully leveled up the Phantom Smoke Step to Tier 2, instantly doubling his movement speed. Moving this incredibly fast, the two-headed snake's eyesight simply cannot keep up with him at all. Simply put, he's practically invisible to the beast now. Plus, he can effortlessly dodge every single venom attack it throws his way without breaking a sweat. So it doesn't take long before Somac completely obliterates the remaining head of the two-headed snake, ending the fight. Thank God his Phantom Smoke Step actually managed to level up mid-battle. Otherwise, that monster would have been seriously annoying to deal with. Somac lets out a deep breath, then immediately starts harvesting materials from the massive snake corpse. The snake heart is the quest item for that girl. The snake gall is great for the body, so he takes that too. Grabbing 2 solid vials of beast blood, definitely not a bad haul. Gotta strip the snake skin too, feels like it'll make fantastic armor. Haha. All that intense fighting was totally worth the massive payoff. I mean, a single high-tier level 2 fierce beast is literally worth the same as 100 low-tier beasts combined. Time to head back. Now that he hit the martial artist stage, he needs to visit the Grand Hall and find some better cultivation techniques. But right at that moment, a desperate scream rips through the air. Help me! Seconds later, an injured girl bursts out from the thick woods, running absolutely for her life to avoid getting completely devoured by the fierce beasts right behind her. Seeing this, Somac charges straight toward her. A few casual strikes and the beasts are instantly wiped out. Wait, are you Tran Tik Vai's fiancé? Somac? Somac ignores her question and fires back one of his own. Aren't you Du Tin from the elite class? What exactly are you doing way out here? Hearing the elite class mentioned, the girl suddenly snaps back to reality. She grabs Somac's arm in panic. We ran into the wind-chasing Wolf King, and Hua Kwang too. Somac, Tran Tik Vai is in massive danger right now, you have to go save her. Somac instantly grips, Du Tin's wrist tight, his voice full of urgency. What did you just say? What happened to Tran Tik Vai? I know what you're thinking, and Du Tin is just as shocked by his intense aura. Is this really the same Somac who constantly needed Tran Tik Vai's protection? Wasn't he completely unable to cultivate? How could he effortlessly slaughter level 2 low-tier wind-chasing wolves? With this crazy strength, he must have already reached the late martial artist stage. Seeing Du Tin freeze up in shock makes Somac realize he's totally losing his cool. He immediately apologizes and pulls his hand back, then seriously presses her for details. What exactly happened to you and Tran Tik Vai out there? This time, our academy's tournament was actually changed into a joint trial between the two cities. And we're competing against the Chuang Fong base right here inside the Dai Luk Mountain. I was just walking with Tran Tik Vai. We were gathering wind spirit grass when a massive pack of wind-chasing wolves completely surrounded us out of nowhere. Tran Tik V fought hard to protect me. We were trying to break out, but then that genius Hua Kwang from the Chuang Fong base showed up with his crew to block us. Tran Tik Vai stayed behind to hold off Hua Kwang's group, so I could run and find our elite classmates for backup. She was already badly injured when I left. So Mac, you have to hurry and save her. The ambush spot is about 10 miles to the southeast from here. Of course I'm going. You rest up for a bit, then go find the rest of the elite class. So Mac tosses Du Tin a healing potion and immediately dashes off into the forest. Du Tin stares blankly at Somac's fading figure, a very strange feeling rising up in her chest. What is going on? Just moments ago, the wolves and Hua Kwang had her absolutely traumatized and terrified. Yet somehow, just looking at Somac made her feel incredibly secure and safe. She genuinely feels that if it's him, he can definitely save Tran Tik Vai from this mess. Meanwhile, over at the battlefield, after watching Tran Tik Vai completely destroy several of his subordinates, Hua Kwang finds her even more attractive. So he steps up, confidently smirking at her. Hey gorgeous, I told you already, your Lu Duong base is nothing but a bunch of absolute trash. Hurting my men, you're quite fierce, and that's where we leave it. Trust me, karma's coming. Alright, you and I are jumping right in. He tells her to follow him for a bright future. Chen Jiwei just scoffs. She calls him out a pathetic sneak who used a beast horde to ambush them. How could trash like him ever be called a genius? Xu Guang just laughs out loud at that. Very smart, he says. Then boom, he suddenly charges right at her with a vicious attack. Shi Wei looks completely annoyed. So stubborn, he sneers, deciding to show her the massive gap in their actual power levels. Since she was already injured from before, just one single strike from Xu Guang sends Ji Wei flying through the air. Watching her crash hard onto the ground, Xu Guang looks incredibly smug. Seeing you look this weak and pathetic right now actually makes me pity you, he mocks. He gives her one absolute last chance to submit. But instead of answering, Shi Wei just glares right back at him with pure, unadulterated hatred. He brags that ever since he awakened his high-level saber talent and secured first place over in the Zhangfeng base, absolutely nobody has ever dared to reject his offers. If you refuse, I will not force you. I will just grant your wish and send you to the afterlife. Now watch this carefully. Just as Ji Wei closes her eyes to accept her death, Chu Mo drops in like a literal god and casually blocks Xu Guang's fatal blade. The impact is so intense that Xu Guang gets violently thrown backward. He stares at his own bleeding hand, panic completely washing over his face. Way too fast, way too strong. Snapping out of it, Xu Guang angrily demands answers from Chu Mo. I am already a mid-stage martial artist. How on earth are you overpowering me? Since when did the Luoyang base get a freak like you? Who the hell are you? You talk way too much, Chu Mo shoots back. Chu Mo lets his aura explode, fully ready to teach this guy a brutal lesson. Meanwhile, Shi Wei thinks that voice sounds weirdly familiar. Opening her eyes, Shi Wei can only see her mysterious savior standing there with his back turned to her, leaving her completely clueless if it is actually Chu Mo or not. Suddenly, Xu Guang activates a skill and launches a massive palm strike right at him. High-level saber talent plus high-level water talent, a dual attribute expert. Time to use the void smoke step, he thinks. Chu Mo calculates his next move perfectly, but then he suddenly remembers Shi Wei is still right behind him. Because of that, he cannot dodge and attack. He just has to brace and defend. Chu Mo instantly swings his blade to completely shatter Xu Guang's incoming attack. Unfortunately, a tiny fragment of Xu Guang's stray ice energy smacks Shi Wei right in the head, knocking her completely unconscious. Seeing this, Chu Mo goes absolutely furious and counterattacks instantly. Xu Guang cannot even react, and after just a few strikes, he is totally obliterated. After putting Xu Guang in the ground, the very first thing Chu Mo does is loot the body, and sure enough, the guy had a spatial bag on him. You and I both know what comes next, unboxing the loot. Wow, this guy was totally loaded. Endless low-grade essence stones and a mountain of rare beast material. Since Shi Wei is heavily injured, he decides to just give this spatial bag right to her. The materials inside should be more than enough to guarantee her a top score in this trial. However, he needs to dispose of Xu Guang's body first, so Shi Wei will not run into any future trouble. After that, he will move her to a much safer spot. Then it is time to find a quiet place to absorb the new talents he just extracted. Let us see what kind of insane skills he got. Extraction completely successful. Gained high-level saber talent. System asks, do you wish to integrate it now? Right after fusing the new saber talent, Chu Mo immediately tests out a few basic slashes. He can actually feel the blade breathing, the rhythm of the weapon, the very life force pulsing inside the steel itself. Conveniently, a wind-chasing wolf appears out of nowhere, becoming his perfect test dummy. Just one single flawless slash sends the beast straight to the afterlife. The crazy cold calamity thunder saber he looted from Xu Guang is crazy useful. Turns out the ice attribute was not a talent, it actually came from his saber technique. Xu Guang really lived up to his genius title from Zhangfeng base. This crazy cold calamity thunder saber is straight up a platinum tier weapon too. By combining this talent with his base strength, plus his extraction system, he can unleash power way beyond what Xu Guang ever could. Thinking about this, Chu Mo pulls up his system panel to check the stats. Target, Chu Mo. The host's base physical strength is now 18,290 pounds. His wind and lightning attribute strength sits at 75,314 pounds. High-level cultivation physique unlocked. High-level saber cultivation talent, top-tier lightning attribute talent, and a top-tier wind attribute talent as well. Skills include Stage 2 Void Smoke Step. Weapons equipped are mid-stage Bronze tier Void Breaking Blade, and the beginner Platinum tier Crazy Cold Calamity Thunder Saber. The training results are exactly what he expected, so it is finally time to head back home. Saying that, Chu Mo stares at the heavily chipped, broken blade still in his hand. This battle saber is practically ruined. Definitely need to go back and swap it out. It has been a month. That girl must be getting really impatient by now. 2 days later at the Warrior Supply Hall, Pink Hair is waiting in the lounge as usual. And trust me, you are going to want to stick around to see what happens when he finally walks through those doors. Let's dive right back in. She kept looking up, but it was never the guy she was waiting for. Over a month had passed, and Chu Mo was entirely MIA. A guy walks over trying to burst her bubble. "Hey kid, give it up. He's never coming back." It's been a whole month. He definitely died out in that forest. The two-headed python is a mid-tier level 2 beast. If it were that easy to kill, it wouldn't have survived this long. Honestly, he probably just talked big and never even went. Hearing that, the pink-haired girl clenches her fists as tears stream down her face. Did he really just lie to her? Or did he actually die out there? No, she shakes her head. He can definitely pull this off. If even he failed, I don't know what to do. But watch closely, this is where the miracle happens. Right on cue, Chu Mo casually strolls into the hall. While everyone stares in pure shock, he slowly walks right up to the girl and simply hands her the two-headed python's heart. "You actually did it!" she screams, absolutely overflowing with pure joy. "Glad I didn't disappoint. Here's the python heart you needed. Go ahead and check it to be sure." While she's still stunned, that same skeptical guy from earlier steps up. "Your cultivation base is way too low, kid. Let me inspect this thing." After checking it, his eyes go wide. No mistake. This is definitely a two-headed python's heart, but it's not from an ordinary one. This is from a python that broke through to advanced level 2. Kid, this is incredible. Your mom is totally going to be saved. Mission accomplished. The girl immediately hands over the agreed reward, a mysterious beast egg straight to Chu Mo. He happily accepts it, but just as he's leaving, she calls out, hesitating a bit. "When you took this quest, you definitely heard the rumors. This beast egg hasn't hatched in over 15 years. It's basically just a completely dead, ruined egg at this point. So why did you still accept the quest?" He shrugs. "It was within my capabilities." He replies with total calm, then walks out of the hall while the entire crowd watches him in absolute awe. This young hero actually beheaded an advanced level 2 python? That is absolutely legendary, man. He's got to be at least a late-stage expert. So strong. Imagine teaming up with him. The girl suddenly goes quiet. She remembers when her parents died and literally nobody cared. People only cared about looting their belongings. Not a single person offered to help a little girl. You and I both know how ruthless this world is. Basic trust is basically impossible. Yet here was someone keeping his word, leaving her completely in awe. Now back to our main character. Chu Mo is walking down the street, mentally calculating his next move. He needs to trade these fresh beast materials for spirit stones, then buy a martial artist tier physical body cultivation technique. And he needs a blade. Should he buy a pre-made one or get one forged? The python's spine and scales would make absolutely top-tier forging materials. The Jade Pavilion is the very first place that comes to mind. It's a massive shop after all. Plus, rumors say the Jade Pavilion is backed by a powerhouse way bigger than the Liu Yang base. The same receptionist from last time spots him and smiles warmly. "Sir, you finished your training? Congratulations on leveling up. What do you need today?" The Jade Pavilion sells absolutely everything. Fair prices, no scams. Chu Mo stares at her, immediately going on high alert. He thinks to himself, "Last time I couldn't tell, but this normal shop worker has a martial apprentice cultivation base, and she instantly saw through my level up. If mere employees are this strong, the Jade Pavilion's true background must be insane." Pushing his deep suspicions aside for now, Chu Mo tells her, "I'm here to sell a batch of beast materials and pick up some essential cultivation supplies." Hearing this, the receptionist immediately leads him to see Old Yang. He's the pavilion's official appraiser, here to check the material's quality and set a price. This is all top-tier stuff, even parts from an advanced level 2 beast. Old Yang praises the loot while secretly marveling. All these premium beast materials hunted by a kid who doesn't even look 20? Truly a force to be reckoned with. After thoroughly inspecting everything Chu Mo brought, he announces the final tally. After full appraisal, the total value of these materials sits at around 1.56 million low-grade spirit stones. Do you agree to this sale? The rumors about the Jade Pavilion's fair prices are totally spot on. I still need to buy a few essential things for my cultivation. And a weapon, too. Does your shop have a suitable combat blade or maybe a recommended forging workshop? Old Yang hands him a massive catalog. And that's where we pause. Trust me, you are going to want to see what he picks next. Let's dive right back in. Not even Liu Yang base has it. Here's the catalog. Seeing these insane prices, Chu Mo instantly starts sweating bullets. A Tier 3 alloy combat blade? That alone costs 100,000 yuan stones. Fierce Beast Essence Blood goes for 200,000. He thought the 150,000 he just earned was a decent amount, but he can't afford any of the top-tier gear he actually wants. He has to settle for the absolute essentials. Thinking it over, Chu Mo decides to buy a Tier 3 alloy blade, a martial artist realm, origin, energy, body tempering manual, and a complete encyclopedia covering common plants and fierce beasts he might run into out there. That totals 172,000 yuan stones, sir. You just need to pay an extra 16,000 and we are perfectly settled. Right as Old Yang finalizes the price, the receptionist walks into the room and quickly whispers something in his ear. Hearing this, Old Yang turns serious and tells Chu Mo, "Sir Martial Artist, our boss would like to invite you upstairs for a quick meeting." The boss? Why would the head of the Jade Pavilion want to see him? Unable to guess her motive, he decides to just check it out, lead the way. The receptionist politely guides Chu Mo up to the second floor. Stopping right outside the door, she says, "Please go right on in, sir. Our boss is currently waiting for you inside." Chu Mo pushes the door open himself and steps inside. Waiting in the room are a young woman and an old lady. Seeing Chu Mo, the old woman gestures with her hand, "Please have a seat." As Chu Mo sits down, he catches a quick glimpse of the emblem on her chest. Now pay close attention here. In the Jade Pavilion Merchant Alliance, that golden bamboo leaf symbolizes the exact realm of a true powerhouse. This old lady actually has 3 leaves, a legit martial master. For a young woman to command a martial master's total respect like this, the shop's boss is absolutely not someone simple. After Chu Mo completely settles down, the young girl immediately introduces herself. "Hello, Mr. Chu Mo. I am Yang Shanshan from the Jade Pavilion Merchant Alliance. I hastily invited you here for a sudden meeting today, so please forgive me if I have caused any offense." She knows his name already, which completely proves she has been secretly investigating him. Thinking this over, Chu Mo goes on high alert. "Boss Yang is too polite. May I ask why exactly you were looking for me?" "Naturally, I want to invite you to join our Jade Pavilion Merchant Alliance." "Me? Mr. Chu, I have done some deep research into your background. Don't misunderstand, this was absolutely not a malicious investigation at all. I noticed you earlier when you helped that little girl back in the martial arts hall, and honestly, you made me very interested right then. From what I gathered about these past few years, the impression you gave everyone was always just an ordinary guy who couldn't cultivate. But then you went and completely finished the hunting quest for a Tier 2 advanced mutated two-headed python. So your true strength is clearly at least mid-level martial artist, maybe even higher. Plus your natural talent coordination is actually pretty amazing." Seeing Chu Mo's extremely guarded expression, Yang Shanshan simply can't help but laugh out loud. "I know what you're thinking, but wait. Don't be so nervous. Everyone has their own secrets, and I really don't want to know yours. A kind personality, extraordinary natural talent, and truly impressive strength. No matter how you look at it, Mr. Chu Mo is a total genius." Saying this, Yang Shanshan suddenly claps her hands to signal. Instantly, the old lady brings a large weapon box right in front of Chu Mo. Our Jade Pavilion Merchant Alliance will always gladly welcome true geniuses. This Tier 4 combat blade was perfectly forged using the bones and blood of a Tier 3 mid-level fierce beast. It just so happens this Tier 4 alloy combat blade is awarded to heroes, making it an absolutely perfect choice that suits you right now. Yang Shanshan explains with a smile. Chu Mo doesn't even need to think about it and instantly refuses. "I appreciate Boss Yang's high praise. However, I have already grown completely used to total freedom. I hate feeling restricted, so for now, I have absolutely no intention of joining any specific faction or power." As if totally expecting Chu Mo's rejection, Yang Shanshan replies, "Don't rush to refuse me. In this world, the most unique people always refuse to bow down. We naturally will never force you to officially join the Jade Pavilion, but we can definitely still work together as partners. The Jade Pavilion is just one branch of the massive Jade Pavilion Merchant Alliance. Our alliance headquarters is actually located over in the Jinling base, thousands of miles away from Luoyang. We are on a completely different level and simply cannot be compared to any local faction inside Luoyang base. If Mr. Chu becomes a consultant for our merchant alliance, we will send you a set amount of yuan stones every single month, along with premium features and purchasing rights. You will even get a solid 20% discount whenever you buy any resources from our merchant alliance. The only condition is that you must help the alliance with at least one task every year. Of course, this isn't strictly forced. Mr. Chu has the total right to refuse and swap to another mission. So Mr. Chu, how does that sound to you? Now what do you and I make of this? This insanely tempting offer definitely makes Chu Mo waver. The Jade Pavilion really knows how to reel in the top-tier talent they set their eyes on. Even if he can't be used for their own selfish goals, building a strong relationship like this is a massive win. They are throwing in some crazy perks, especially the exclusive VIP purchasing rights. Let's dive in. Treasure hunting is wild, and Yang Shanshan knows Chu Mo is totally tempted. She plays it smooth. Handing the combat blade right to him, she tells Mr. Chu to take his time thinking it over. No need to answer right now. Just consider this a welcome gift, and everything Mr. Chu bought today, completely on the house. This combat blade is also his to keep, hoping it suits his style. Chu Mo grabs the blade, looking it up and down. He half jokes, asking if Boss Yang is worried he might just take this shiny new weapon and bounce without agreeing. Yang Shanshan just laughs it off. It is barely 200,000 for the blade, so giving it away is no big deal. Our Jade Merchant Alliance can easily handle a tiny little loss like that. Plus, she completely trusts Mr. Chu to make the right choice. Impressed by her generous vibe, he promises not to let Boss Yang down at all. He officially accepts the advisor position. With the deal sealed, Chu Mo quickly packs up and leaves. That old lady nearby cannot hold back her questions anymore. She admits Chu Mo has decent potential and a pretty solid attitude overall. But at the end of the day, he is just a local genius from a tiny base. Why would the young miss waste so much effort recruiting him, even throwing away a precious advisor quota just like that? Could it really be because? Senior Chu, you already know one of my dual talents is a very special support type ability. Now pay attention here. The second Chu Mo walked in today, she sensed his aura, which is exactly why she invited him up. She felt a super familiar vibe radiating right off of him. It turns out, he and her are exactly the same kind of person. Cut to the #1 Academy Plaza in Luoyang Base. The two-city trial is finally over, and Shen Jing is up there announcing results. First place goes to Chen Jiwei, then second, third, fourth, all the way down to Guo Kun taking the 5th place spot. The crowd goes wild. Chen Jiwei got first. She is super strong, sure, but Guo Kun is literally in the elite class. He usually destroys everyone during exams with way better scores. Yeah, well, do not even bring that up. Guo Kun ran into Shu Guang staging an ambush over at the Great Shu Mountain and got heavily injured. As for Shu Guang, found dead in the trial zone. Teachers from Zhenfeng Base already searched the entire Great Shu Mountain, but they could not even find a body. While the students gossip, Shen Jing shouts out at the top of his lungs, inviting our first-place student, Chen Shiwei, up to the stage for her prize. Standing in the crowd, Chen Shiwei completely tunes it out. Her mind is racing, trying to piece everything together. She only grabbed first place because her mystery savior left Shu Guang's packed storage bag behind for her. Honestly, without all that insane loot, she would have maxed out at third place. You and I are probably wondering the exact same thing she is. All the way back from the mountain, she saw nobody. Was it really him? Seeing Chen Shiwei totally zoned out, Du Jing stands next to her and gives her arm a gentle nudge, snapping her out of it, reminding her to hurry to the podium because the dean is calling. Up on stage, Shen Jing repeats himself, inviting her up for the prize. That finally snaps Chen Shiwei back to absolute reality. She hurries up to grab her reward. Meanwhile, out in the dangerous abandoned zones far beyond the city walls, Chu Mo is grinding hard in combat. He grips that brand new blade in his hands, swinging it non-stop, spamming his crazy cold tribulation lightning blade to farm monsters. Suddenly, Chu Mo feels the solid ground trembling beneath his feet. 1 second later, a massive worm monster with a terrifying mouth full of teeth bursts right out of the dirt. Chu Mo instantly uses his level 2 floating light step to dodge, spinning around fast to launch a heavy counterattack. The crazy cold tribulation lightning blade slams into the beast, freezing it in thick ice. Then Chu Mo follows up with perfect void-breaking blade. Slicing the monster's head clean off, the strike even blasts a massive, brutal hole through the thick wall right behind it. Staring at the crater in the wall, Chu Mo falls deep into thought. His basics for both signature blade techniques have finally reached absolute perfection in cultivation. Just this upgrade alone is guaranteed to at least double his destructive power. With these lethal methods, if he ran into Shu Guang right now, he would absolutely chop his head off with one single strike. Logically speaking, his blade skills are already a massive success, but for some weird reason, he cannot shake this feeling. Something still feels like it is missing. It is like there is all this extra leftover energy bouncing around inside him. Energy he cannot use normally. Is it because his origin chi practice is not deep enough to fully temper his physical body yet? Even though he ranked up his martial artist realm, the manuals say the next 3 heavy stages of the physical tempering process are bone forging, blood refining, and chi gathering. Trust me, we need to see him conquer these next. Stick with me, we haven't even hit the bone forging stage yet. Chu Mo decides his next move is focusing entirely on origin energy, starting right now. So, he tracks down a huge abandoned house and kicks off a brutal day and night training grind to level up fast. Half a month later, he finally pauses his crazy training. The feeling of origin energy during the bone forging process, completely impossible to describe. Saying this, Chu Mo reaches over and squeezes his own bicep to test it. But right at that moment, a massive wave of pure agony assaults his entire body. He completely collapses, violently shaking on the floor. His bones feel like they are literally burning up as all the dark impurities get forced right out of his marrow. I honestly never imagined there would be such a massive physical change after going through this intense purification process. Once that bone-deep pain finally fades away, he stands back up. He stares at the gaseous impurities literally steaming off his skin and mutters to himself. After practicing this specific origin energy forging method, his training speed is actually 5 times faster than basic body forging. Pushing at this insane rate and relying on his newly upgraded physique, he is absolutely confident he can break through to the martial master realm within just 3 years. But then, clenching his fist tight, a determined smile spreads across his face as he speaks, still way too slow. I've been back for half a month already. Zhou Cheng has definitely noticed my presence by now, even if I'm not afraid of him anymore. The Zhou family has decades of power built up in the Luoyang base. They've probably recruited tons of elite fighters. I need to get so much stronger. Now pay attention, because here's where the tension spikes. Over at the Zhou villa, an underling rushes in with news. Sir, we finally tracked down Chu Mo's location. Hearing this, Zhou Cheng immediately snaps back. Where exactly is he? The subordinate replies. He's been back for half a month, but he's been secretly training in the abandoned zone outside the city. We only spotted him when he headed home just now. Zhou Cheng completely frowns, warning his men. This kid is smart. Kang Nian never returned last time. I warned you about this. He's avoiding our family and training non-stop. I bet he already took that precious treasure right from Zhou Qi's hands. I guarantee he wants to learn some solid self-defense skills before we eventually come knocking right at his front door. Suddenly, Zhou Cheng snorts coldly and brutally crushes the bird in his hand. Staring at his bloody palm with a vicious look, he barks an order. Keep tracking him. The next time he steps foot in that abandoned zone, I will personally kill him. Meanwhile, back at his house, Chu Mo is busy packing up his backpack. Mr. Chu, our Emerald Jade Merchant Alliance offers totally free access to the absolute best training consultants at the Martial Cultivation Tower. Inside, the Origin Energy Arrays can literally double your cultivation speed. We highly recommend you take advantage of this. Recalling Yang Shanshan's exact words, Chu Mo quietly thinks to himself, fighting savage beasts out in the wild is great, but gathering energy out there just isn't efficient enough. I should probably focus my training at the Martial Tower for a while. Right at that moment, Chen Shiwei walks in. Seeing her, Chu Mo smiles warmly and says, "You're back?" Spotting Chu Mo holding his packed backpack, she immediately asks him, "Are you heading out?" Chu Mo nods. "Yeah, I have some business and need to leave for a bit, but it's strictly inside the city, so it's super safe. Don't worry, I'll be back in a few days." Hesitating for a quick second, she stammers out, "Well..." Halfway out the door, Chu Mo suddenly turns back. "Oh, right. I heard you got hurt during the two-city hunting trial. Make sure you get plenty of rest at home while you recover. And hey, congratulations on taking first place." With that said, he walks out, leaving Chen Shiwei standing alone in the room, deep in thought. I know what you're thinking. His reaction was totally normal. Was it really not him out there? A little while later, Chu Mo arrives at an advanced martial training tower fully owned by the Emerald Jade Alliance. Inside the training room, he swings his blade over and over, but nothing feels right. Frenzied Cold Tribulation Lightning Blade. A silver-tier martial skill. Fierce, completely dominant, meant to relentlessly chase down enemies and deliver a fatal, crushing strike. Even though I can perfectly control the cold energy within it, something still feels incredibly off, like it's totally incomplete. Is it because I'm not using my origin energy advantage properly? If I could just channel way more energy into it. Letting out a massive shout, he grips the blade with both hands and slashes hard, but the result is still super disappointing. Gritting his teeth in pure frustration, he mutters, "Still wrong. Where's the actual flaw? The name says cold, which is ice attribute, but there is 0 lightning attribute showing up at all. For a silver tier skill, having 2 active attributes would make it way too chaotic." Frenzied Cold. While racking his brain, a sudden flash of brilliant insight hits him like a truck. Frenzy. The focal point is not its natural elemental attribute at all. The absolute core of this martial skill is frenzy. So what do you and I take from this? Once a blade master draws their weapon, They push forward with zero hesitation. Whatever obstacle is there, he'll obliterate it in one single dominant strike. All right, stick with me here. This is pure madness. Realizing this, Somak quickly adjusts his entire mindset. Both hands grip his blade, standing dead still. He completely abandons his defense, leaving only the image of the draw in his mind. One blade feels like 1,000 strikes. His only goal? Fight the enemy until the bitter end. Out of 1,000 ways to kill, the blade reigns supreme. With that, Somak's eyes turn deadly sharp. Without a single second of hesitation, he unleashes a massive slash. Time slowly ticks by. As the golden sunset finally falls, Somak walks right out of the training pavilion, only to bump into two people standing just outside. Walking right past them, Somak actually hears the male fighter turn and ask his partner, "Hey, weird question, but do you feel like this training pavilion is actually moving?" Not really. The inside and outside of this pavilion have super solid magic formations, way stronger than any regular building. Suddenly, that same fighter goes wide-eyed, staring at the building and shouting, "What is that?" 1 second later, the entire pavilion just completely collapses. The female fighter screams, "What is happening? The pavilion just fell down." Hearing the massive crash, a huge crowd starts rushing over. What in the world happened here? This is Thweenok Merchant Alliance property. Who actually has the guts to cause trouble here? They must have a total death wish. The second they notice Somak is a complete stranger, they instantly draw their weapons on high alert, surround him, and if he resists, kill him on the spot. Duong San also walks right over to the scene. Seeing her guards totally surrounding Somak, she calls out in total surprise, "Mr. So!" Now pay close attention here. She stares at the ruined pavilion, then asks him, "Mr. So, have you already mastered blade momentum?" Deep down, she is absolutely blown away. Just looking at the lingering sword marks, he is not even 20 years old, yet he already achieved blade momentum. What an absolute genius. So Mac curiously asks, "Manager Duong, what exactly is blade momentum?" Hearing that question, she looks even more shocked. He always attended the academy as just a regular student. He never formally learned about blade realms, meaning he literally figured all of this out by himself. He is an unbelievable prodigy, way stronger than I originally thought. I have to recruit him into the Thweenok Merchant Alliance right away. Thinking about that, Duong San smiles warmly and explains, "If a fighter has natural talent with weapons, they can actually cultivate special related power realms. For example, with blades, as far as I know, there are 3 main tiers. The first tier is the Blade Light realm. Your weapon radiates a brilliant light, packed with raw power and terrifying killing intent. The second tier is Blade Momentum, filling the sky with unstoppable blade shadows. And the third and highest tier is Blade Intent. Once drawn, this intent creates a domain nobody can escape from. Against true Blade Intent, enemies cannot even pull their own weapons out of their sheaths." So Mac rubs his chin and nods. "So that is how it works. Thank you for explaining, Manager Duong." His mind is clearly racing with new ideas. If that is true, then the perfect form of Heavenbreaker is actually just the very first state of the Blade Light realm. Just because I unlocked high-level blade talent, I was actually able to level it up in such an incredibly short amount of time? Right at that moment, he suddenly remembers the entire training pavilion collapsed because of him. So, he gives her a slightly guilty look and says, "I am so sorry. I got way too caught up in my training and accidentally completely destroyed this place." She just covers her mouth and giggles. If it helped you master blade momentum, losing one little training pavilion is totally worth the cost. Now you just need to consolidate your new power realm, and real combat experience will definitely help you immensely. Meanwhile, her guards standing nearby have their jaws literally dropping to the floor. You and I are probably wondering the same thing as them. Who exactly is this guy? How is he casually chatting and laughing with Miss Duong like this? He literally brought down a fortified building just by training. His raw strength is absolutely off the charts and completely terrifying. He is just way too overpowered. Seeing it getting late, so Mac finally decides it is time to say goodbye. "Thanks for the solid advice, Manager Duong. I will definitely do exactly that. I am heading out now." On his way home, so Mac instantly senses someone trailing him. Suddenly, the buzzcut stalker jumps up and yells, "Wait, what is going on?" Where did he go? Right behind him, so Mac appears out of thin air, blade resting on his shoulder. "You boys looking for me?" The buzzcut guy frantically turns around, screaming out, "This is really bad." But Somak gives him zero time to react. One clean slash across the neck sends him straight to the afterlife. Then he reaches out, grabbing the second guy by the throat. He slams him hard against the brick wall, growling, "Who sent you to track my movements?" The guy chokes out, "Chow Than, please spare me, ag," applying just a bit of force. So Mac snaps his neck, whispering, "Just as I expected. Chow Than, I have to eliminate him." Otherwise, not just me, but even Tran Tik Vai is going to be in serious danger. Hey, did somebody say he needed real combat experience? That exact same night, so Mac wastes zero time and swings straight into action. In just a crazy short amount of time, he casually wipes out the entire Chow family guard squad, marching a straight path right to Chow Than. While the old man is fuming inside, incredibly angry that his stalkers still have not returned, a sudden loud noise outside finally grabs his attention. Guards, what is that noise? Total silence. Trust me, you will want to see what comes next. Alright, let's dive straight into the madness together. Zhou Cheng kicks the door open, absolutely furious. He screams, "Where is everybody? What is all this noise?" He instantly freezes. His elite guards are just scattered across the floor, completely wiped out. And standing right in the middle of the carnage, a total stranger. This completely blows his mind. Someone just slaughtered all his heavy hitters right on the other side of a single wall, and he didn't hear a single drop of noise the entire time? Since when did the Liu Yang base have a kid with this kind of insane power? Mind racing, he glares at the boy and barks out, "Who are you? We have zero bad blood, so why butcher my men?" Chu Mo just hits him with a cold smile. "You must be Zhou Cheng, right? What, you don't even recognize the guy you've been trying to murder?" Zhou Cheng gasps. "Don't tell me you are actually Chu Mo. A month ago you killed Kang Nian, but I saw the corpse. You had barely just broken through to the martial artist tier back then. How could you possibly wipe out my entire squad?" Suddenly, it hits him. He remembers sending his son, Zhou Qi, on a mission into the Earth Dragon Beast lair. That is it, the secret treasure. This brat must have stolen it right from my son. That realization makes his blood boil with pure, unfiltered rage. That hidden realm artifact literally let you reforge your body and level up. But that power was meant to be mine all along. You stole my destiny, so now I am going to rip you apart and take back what is rightfully mine. Without another word, Zhou Cheng erupts with source energy, forming countless glowing swords before launching them straight at Chu Mo. The old boss manipulates energy like a true veteran martial artist. He uses long-range telekinesis to maximize the sword strikes, but Chu Mo just stomps the ground, instantly throwing up a massive energy shield to block it all. Seeing that massive barrage of swords completely shut down, Chu Mo just flashes a cocky smirk. Now pay close attention here. The boss realizes the kid can use source energy too, but he spots a perfect opening. "Little brat, that barrier blocking me must have drained all your energy by now. Watch this." He instantly dashes right into Chu Mo's face, swinging his premium sword down for a devastating, bone-crushing execution strike. Chu Mo dodges it with lightning speed, swiftly circling around to Zhou Cheng's back to deliver a vicious counterslash. But the old boss is not a pushover. He reacts instantly, completely deflecting Chu Mo's sneak attack without breaking a sweat. Chu Mo does not back down, launching an absolute barrage of strikes. Zhou Cheng easily blocks them, analyzing the kid. He realizes Chu Mo's speed and energy control are still way weaker than his own. Suddenly, Zhou Cheng leaps way back to create distance, reaching out and slamming his hand onto a hidden wall switch. Boom! A massive explosion instantly detonates, catching Chu Mo completely off guard and blasting him violently right out the balcony window. Luckily, his agility is off the charts. He flips midair, adjusting his balance, and lands safely on his feet outside. Still, he takes some heavy internal damage, spitting out a mouthful of fresh blood. Seeing Chu Mo looking battered, Zhou Cheng just laughs maniacally. "Brat, you might have leveled up using my treasure, but you are still way too green. This is my turf. Did you seriously think I would not have traps set up? How did you absorb that artifact anyway? Into your flesh and blood? Then I will literally rip out your bones and drain your blood." Zhou Cheng stands triumphantly, roaring, "Go down to hell and apologize to my son. You and I both know the hero isn't dying here." The swords fly in, but Chu Mo instantly activates his floating light step. His speed leaves the old man absolutely speechless, followed up by his lightning talent. A single glowing palm strike smashes right into the boss's smug face. The old guy is completely baffled as to why Chu Mo wasn't blown to pieces. Our boy already knew Zhou Qi was a shameless rat, and the apple never falls far from the tree. Facing the father, of course he kept his guard up. With a casual sword swing, he sends the old boss flying like a baseball, smashing into the rocky ground. Seeing red, Zhou Cheng totally loses his mind, repeatedly screaming, "Damn it, damn it, damn it!" After taking that hit, his clothes are shredded like some homeless beggar, but his ego is somehow still sky high. "Stop acting so cocky. I'm going to show you exactly why even the top martial masters in Liu Yang base never dare to piss me off." He charges forward like a raging bull, unleashing his ultimate 10,000 blade void breaker. Feeling this massive aura, Chu Mo realizes the guy is triggering explosive power that completely breaks past the normal limits. Since mastering his own void breaker technique to perfection, this is actually the ultimate chance for Chu Mo to test exactly how overpowered he has become. This old bull just keeps charging right at him, but he gets totally confused when his target does not even try to dodge. He thinks Chu Mo must be plotting some insane trap, because if this slash lands, even a peak martial master would be instantly wiped off the face of the earth. He might be ugly, but the old boss has an absolute truckload of confidence, fully believing there is zero chance Chu Mo can break through his 10,000 blade strike. Even if it missed, survival was totally impossible. Stop guessing. Trust me, this is the exact moment we've been waiting for. Watch him unleash his ultimate Battle Blade Resonance. Let's dive right in. Chao Than is running for his absolute life today. But he couldn't turn fast enough, dropping dead from just one single slash. Chao Than was finished, and his entire family got completely wiped out. Next morning, the Lu Duong base law enforcement captain rushes to the scene. He literally cannot believe a late-stage martial artist like Chao Than is dead. His subordinate reports back every single person inside the Chao family villa is gone. Based on the tracks, the killer breached from the outside in. 1 strike per person, and it was all over. Hearing this report, the captain just stands there, thinking, he knows this killer is a ridiculously overpowered blade master, way above their pay grade. He orders his team to gather intel and kick this mess up the chain. That night, Somak is busy checking out his new loot. From raiding the Chao family, he scored 35 Tier 2 Beast Blood Vials, plus 4 Tier 3 Vials, tons of Tier 2 Beast materials, and some crazy rare herbs. Everything he looted from Chao Than is worth over $1 million. Absolute jackpot. 10 years of that guy's savings, all sitting in Somak's hands now. Next up, hardcore cultivation. He needs to level up fast and hit the martial master tier. While packing his bags, the chest holding that mysterious beast egg drops out. He totally forgot it existed. The egg is twitching. It is literally breathing. This thing is still alive. You and I need to pay attention here. Why has this thing been dead silent for 10 years when they usually hatch in 3? Alright, time to test it out. He drips blood to claim it, pumps in chi, tries smashing it, and even thinks about making a fried egg. Lightning strikes. He tries absolutely everything until he is out of breath, but nothing works. Whatever. If waking this beast egg up was that easy, he never would have gotten his hands on it anyway. Time to get back on the grind. He starts with the wind spirit fruit from Daithuk Mountain. This fruit helps warriors with wind attributes gain crazy comprehension. It is a major cheat code to boost your natural talent. Up in the sky, a little magpie is flying. Wait, no, it is a 3-legged eagle, a super fast mid-tier beast. It is pretty small, hunting at night, just chilling in the air until it gets the shock of a lifetime. Who else but our main character? Somak testing his speed. He scares that bird away from night flights forever. After eating 42 wind, spirit fruits and spending half a month absorbing them, he finally breaks right through the sound barrier. Somak pulls up his system panel to check his stats. High-tier cultivation physique, high-tier blade talent, low-grade bronze wind talent, and top-tier lightning talent. The man is absolutely stacked. He is totally hyped seeing his bronze wind talent hit a brand new level. Going all out, his speed is nearly Mach 5. That is practically peak martial master speed right there. The grind never stops. Riding the momentum from that breakthrough, he decides to temper his bones and muscles. Body forging kicks in, blood chi surges. The moment arrives. Somak finally breaks through. I know what you are thinking. Base strength of 50,000 Jin? With lightning, it actually hits 200,000 Jin. Bone forging complete. Next is blood refining. Somak is now a late-stage martial artist with insane bone density and massive strength. For him, mid-stage blood refining takes way longer than his early-stage bone marrow tempering did. Most warriors get stuck here for years. He wonders if Jade Pavilion sells medicine to speed up this blood refining process. He decides to head over there first thing tomorrow. Next morning, San is absolutely stunned, seeing that he leveled up yet again. Every single time they meet, his power spikes. Finding a young guy progressing this fast across any base is basically 1 in a million. Even with all the praise, Somak stays humble. Just a few days of training, just a tiny bit of progress. He tells her he came looking for medicine to boost his blood refining speed at the Jade Pavilion. San smiles and happily replies. If he wants blood refining medicine, she actually has a job for him with a massive payout attached to it. So Mac figures this is the exact mission he owes them as a Jade Pavilion advisor. The Jade Pavilion over in the distant Truong Fong base found a treasure that San desperately wants. She wanted it delivered, but they lost too many men. That is where we stop. Trust me, you will want to see what happens next. Alright, stick with me here. Since this treasure cannot be shipped safely, the Luoyang base has to send someone to fetch it. These two bases are thousands of miles apart. The entire route is packed with massive, deadly monster hordes. Wait, is Sumo seriously expected to pull off this insane mission all by himself? Of course not. To keep things safe, the Jade Pavilion is sending elite fighters to escort the team. Sure, the danger is off the charts, but the payout is totally worth the massive risk. Once the job is done, he gets 5 portions of pure medicine extract from a one-horned rhino. If he agrees, they meet at the Luoyang base west gate in 5 days at 7 a.m. Sumo deeply considers this massive, life-altering reward. This rare extract from a Tier 3 one-horned rhino horn can actually boost a martial artist's blood chi cultivation speed by a massive 10 times. So yeah, he officially accepts the crazy mission. A one-horned rhino is insanely rare to find anywhere. For the Jade Pavilion to offer this as a reward, the mission is definitely not simple. But Sumo absolutely must get his hands on that rhino extract. 5 days later at the Luoyang base west gate, these weird-looking guys right here are officially Sumo's teammates for this brutal upcoming mission. The escort members are all late-stage or peak-level martial artists. The highest is a martial master leading Squad 5, so their overall strength is definitely no joke. Mo Shanshan spots Sumo and happily runs over to greet him. He apologizes for making the young lady wait. Not at all, she just arrived too. Suddenly, someone in the crowd loudly screams, "Zhang Xuan is here!" Now watch closely, because this guy is Zhang Xuan, the Jade Pavilion manager of Luoyang base, and absolutely everyone here is terrified of him. Shanshan quickly introduces him. This is Zhang Xuan, an elite manager specially recruited by the Merchant Guild right here in the Luoyang base. He has medium-level sword talent and low-level metal attribute talent. Being a dual attribute martial artist makes him incredibly rare and super powerful. Zhang Xuan is completely delusional, actually thinking this beautiful girl came out here just to see him off. Shanshan quickly drops the news. "Mr. Sumo, here is the new advisor for the Jade Pavilion." The guy immediately glares at him with pure disgust. "Shanshan, not just anyone can be an advisor. Please do not get scammed by him." Sumo instantly senses the heavy, aggressive hostility coming from this arrogant dude. Cutting right through the awkward tension, old man Xiaqian Yuan finally speaks up. He is a senior manager working for the massive Jade Merchant Alliance. He has the raw power of a late-stage martial artist and is leading this operation. He notes that many people standing here are actually working with him for the very first time. But before they even take a single step, he needs to lay down his strict personal rules. He continues, "This is a massive journey, thousands of miles round trip, and the exact middle route has already been locked in completely. No one is allowed to leave the squad without permission, and definitely no casually talking to absolute strangers. If anything happens, you report directly to me first. If you cannot handle that simple rule, then pack up and leave right now. You and I both know wild missions need strict rules." Sumo loves hearing this. When you are out in the monster-infested wastelands, pure discipline and perfect teamwork are absolutely everything if you want to survive. This captain clearly has a ton of hardcore experience. Nobody objects, so everyone starts introducing their combat power just so they can easily coordinate and get familiar with each other. First up is Wang Hai, an early-stage martial master who totally specializes in sabers. Second guy is Ho Nan. He is a peak martial artist whose main weapon is the sword. Next is Xin Yongsheng, a peak martial artist using daggers. With a low-level wind attribute talent, he is their go-to guy for stealthy assassinations and pure scouting. Finally, it is Zhang Xuan, a peak martial artist specializing in swords, boasting a medium-level saber talent and a low-level metal attribute talent to back it up. Everyone gasps in pure awe, praising Zhang Xuan for truly living up to his special manager title with a totally limitless future. Zhang Xuan acts super cool, then turns to question Sumo's power. As an advisor, one of only 2 in the whole Jade Pavilion, Sumo states he is a mid-stage martial artist using a saber. Nobody believes it. In fact, they look at him with total disgust. How can a weak mid-stage martial artist become an advisor for a massive merchant guild? This mission is insanely dangerous. With power like that, he could not even protect himself out there in the wild. Is this guy just a massive burden to the squad? Seriously? Zhang Xuan pushes his absolute advantage, claiming that everyone is totally right. Let us not even mention how you are not even a late-stage martial artist. How could you become an advisor? Simply put, this operation crosses between 2 major bases. The road is incredibly long and extremely deadly. With your weak skills, if something goes horribly wrong, are we supposed to stop and save your life or just let you die? Mo Shanshan furiously screams at him, demanding that he stop disrespecting Mr. Chu Mo right this instant. His power was fully evaluated by the guild, proving he can perfectly handle the advisor role in this mission. But Zhang Xuan refuses to let it go, using nasty insults to completely tear him down. This guy has low cultivation yet acts as an advisor. I am just afraid Shanshan is being tricked. Chu Mo stares back. What exactly is your point? So what do you and I make of this? A classic challenge. Defeat him right now, or forget about joining this epic mission completely. Alright, you and I are jumping right into the action today. They want his advisor spot? He is fully ready to throw down and crush anyone who steps up. So an epic showdown kicks off right here, right now. Xin Yongsheng heard a rumor that manager Zhang recently broke through to the legendary Sword Light Realm tier. Your average martial artist has zero chance against him. His metal attribute talent is literally the ultimate match for sword techniques. Zhang Xuan's alloy sword gets boosted by at least a full tier. Any mid-stage martial artist would get absolutely shredded by this. Old Xia promises to keep a close eye on the match. He won't let Zhang Xuan seriously injure advisor Chu. But Shanshan already knows the real truth. She knows that arrogant guy will not even be able to leave a scratch on Chu Mo. Even with his fancy Sword Light Realm, Zhang Xuan is absolutely nothing compared to Chu Mo, who has fully mastered Blade Intent. Zhang Xuan refuses to face reality. Smug as ever, he claims he will hold back his power and guarantees the match will end without spilling a single drop of blood. You little brat. I have no clue where you found the courage to accept my challenge, but today you are definitely going down hard. He charges forward with his sword, practically radiating killing intent. But Chu Mo just casually sidesteps, easily dodging the deadly strike. Another strike, and another one, leaving Zhang Xuan wide-eyed in total disbelief. Dozens of hair-thin sword chi needles split off directly from his weapon's path. If his eyes were not already tracking at the speed of sound, dodging the main blade wouldn't save him from these invisible chi needles ripping through the air. His meridians would be completely shredded, leaving him as a permanent cripple. This Zhang Xuan is way too vicious to let live. Today, Chu Mo is delivering some heavy karma. Now pay close attention here. The crowd starts panicking when they see Chu Mo just stop dodging and stand completely still. The opponent is hyped out of his mind. He actually thinks he is about to secure a super easy victory, but there is a nasty hidden trick in his attack. By reaching Sword Light Realm, his metal talent lets him control sword chi like tiny steel needles. They pierce right into the human body, cutting off all meridians, instantly turning his target into useless trash. The fight is far from over, and he keeps aggressively attacking. Boom! Chu Mo blocks the blade completely barehanded. His terrifying raw power casually snaps it in half. The guy is absolutely stunned that his ultimate sword broke so easily. Seeing him destroy it with just a single move leaves him absolutely paralyzed with shock. Everyone watching physically cannot believe their own eyes. How did someone like him just snap Zhang Xuan's weapon with bare hands? Zhang Xuan is literally speechless with pure rage. Now it is time for the final blow. You asked where my courage comes from? This right here is my courage. As he speaks, he delivers a brutal slash straight down his torso. The guy looks ready to explode, crashing hard into the dirt. The outcome is crystal clear. He might still be breathing, but his meridians are totally shattered. He is officially a cripple. Even as a peak martial master, Zhang Xuan was absolutely no match for Chu Mo. You and I both felt that impact, right? Now the whole crowd finally understands why a mid-stage martial artist was appointed as an advisor. The man is completely built different. So from this exact moment forward, nobody is ever going to doubt Mr. Chu's terrifying strength again. They take a quick breather before heading out toward Changfeng Base. Fast forward 4 days, and it is already getting pitch dark. Old Xia decides they should set up camp here. As always, absolutely zero fires allowed, just so the light does not attract hungry beasts. They set up guard duty in groups of 5, rotating every 2 hours. Up until this point, everything has been going incredibly smoothly. Tomorrow they will probably reach Changfeng Base. Thanks to Old Xia's massive survival experience, they managed to successfully bypass at least 80% of the wild beasts on the road. Hao Nan nods in total agreement. Yeah, my first time joining Manager Qian's team was, but before he can even finish his sentence, he literally explodes on the spot. Everyone freezes in pure terror. What in the world just happened? Why did he suddenly die out of nowhere? Chu Mo instantly grips his sword, snapping straight into a hardcore battle stance. He yells out, "Watch out, something invisible is actively attacking us," but there is absolutely zero shift in the surrounding airflow. He cannot sense the enemy's attack path at all. What on earth is this thing? Old Xia desperately tries to calm them down. Nobody panic. Everyone quickly get into your defensive formations right now. Suddenly, Xin Yongsheng spots a blurry white shadow darting past. Boom! Another teammate randomly explodes into pieces. That creepy white shadow instantly pivots and lunges straight for Chu Mo. But with absolute superhuman reflexes, he perfectly dodges death itself. The monster suddenly warps right behind him. Old Xia's blood runs cold as he recognizes it, the void-breaking white weasel. Things just went from bad to worst-case scenario. Wang Hai grips his blade, trembling uncontrollably, his face completely drained of all color. A void-breaking white weasel can literally teleport through space. We are all going to die. Seeing his squad having a full mental breakdown, Xia Qianyuan quickly shouts to snap them out of it. What are you panicking for? It is just a tier 3 mid-level beast. If we do not let it pick us off one by one, we survive. And trust me, you will want to see how this insane cliffhanger ends next time. Listen up, you and I are dropping right into the danger zone. Everyone form a tight defensive circle, facing outward. The second that void-breaking white weasel shows its face, swarm it. Absolutely no mercy. The crew snaps into formation immediately. Old Xia clearly knows exactly what he is doing here. This formation covers every possible blind spot perfectly, right? But Chu Mo still gets this creeping feeling that something is horribly wrong. Boom! It strikes from straight above, dropping a guy instantly dead on the spot. It is so ridiculously fast, literally nobody even saw it move. His heart was ripped right out of his chest and tossed onto the dirt. Total massacre. Not for food, though. This crazy beast is just playing a sick, twisted game with them. Another guard goes down hard. Then another one. And another! Absolute chaos erupts everywhere. Old Xia screams at them to stay calm. Panic only exposes their weak spots to this monster. But it is just way too fast to land a hit on. Now the squad is reduced to only a few survivors. Yongsheng spots it, but his reaction time is too slow to strike back. Meanwhile, Wang Hai is just standing there frozen like a complete zombie. The pressure completely breaks him. Wang Hai totally loses his mind, swinging his weapon wildly at the empty air in pure, desperate panic. Come out right now! Show yourself to me! Just die! All of you just die! Get out here! He screams at the top of his lungs while slashing around, demanding the beast to stop playing this sick game of cat and mouse. The white weasel happily grants his death wish. It quietly materializes right behind his back, instantly launching forward to claim his pathetic life. Chu Mo realizes this is the absolute perfect opening. He bursts forward using his level 2 smoke step. His void-breaking technique is perfected, landing a lightning-fast sword strike directly on the beast. Chu Mo yells out that it is injured. Its speed is definitely dropping, so everyone needs to pay attention. Right on cue, a guard spots the creature. He instantly rushes in, slashing upward while screaming that it is right behind them. After taking heavy hits, it finally stops. But here is the terrifying truth about this monster. It never, ever backs down until it is dead. Watch closely now. It is still lurking nearby, but heavily bleeding and slowed down. Chu Mo knows he is about to get a clear shot for a one-hit kill. If this thing has any real intelligence, its very next attack will definitely be aimed straight at Chu Mo, which means this is his absolute best chance to finish it off. Spot on, he is the target. It drops from above, mouth cranked open like a black hole with spit flying everywhere. This beast is fully planning to bite his entire head clean off. Chu Mo aggressively spins around and slices the hide-and-seek playing monster right in half. Jaws drop everywhere. The entire squad stares in pure shock at the dead void-breaking weasel. Anyone below the Martial Grandmaster tier is basically guaranteed to die fighting one of these terrifying things. Yet Advisor Chu just casually took its life with a single, flawless swing of his sword. In a brutal situation like that, even a highly hardened veteran like Old Xia would not have survived. He thinks to himself, the young lady really has a great eye for talent. Thank God this guy is with the Emerald Jade Alliance. He steps up to deeply thank him. Hey, surviving a crazy life or death crisis basically makes them blood brothers now. No need for formalities. Old Xia smiles and calls him little brother Chu. The only reason so many of them are walking out of this alive is entirely thanks to this young legend right here. He tells Chu Mo to keep the beast's body as his prize. Awesome. Chu Mo happily accepts the epic loot without hesitating. You and I both know surviving is just part 1. Next morning they reach Changfeng base, but the vibe here is completely dead and incredibly gloomy. Old Xia notified the Emerald Jade Pavilion manager before they arrived, so why is literally nobody out here to welcome them into the city? Chu Mo is super confused too. Isn't Changfeng base supposed to be way bigger than Luoyang base? Why is it so deserted? Something feels seriously off about this place. Suddenly, a voice calls out. Manager Qian apologizes for keeping them waiting so long. Old Sun and 2 others come rushing over to them. Old Xia immediately questions why there are only 3 of them. Did something bad happen? Out of breath, Old Sun casually pulls Old Xia away. He says they must be exhausted from the journey, so he will have someone escort everyone to their hotel immediately. For now, just focus on getting some good rest. He claims he and Manager Qian need to handle the urgent cargo transfer paperwork. And just like that, the two buddy up and quickly hurry off into a corner together. Chu Mo gets the strong feeling that Old Sun is purposely keeping them from talking. Looks like something major really did go down at Changfeng. Looking at his loot, it hits him. That beast was just a tier 3 monster, yet it wiped out a squad led by a master. Trust me, you and I are about to see this power scale go crazy. And it was all because of its overpowered innate spatial teleportation skill. Alright, let's dive into this. If he absorbs this, his power will absolutely skyrocket. So, he immediately starts the extraction. Extraction successful. He just bagged a new spatial talent. The system asks, ready to fuse? Obviously, yes, he activates his spatial awareness. Suddenly, every single thing happening around him becomes crystal clear. It's like having a radar. This spatial awareness is insane. He can perfectly sense every little detail within a 50-meter radius. 0 blind spots. But what about the white ferret's signature moves? The void breaking and teleportation? How strong are they going to be? Time to test it out. Chu Mo triggers the teleportation, instantly shifting through space to snatch a bird chilling on a branch. Honestly, it's like this guy has a vendetta against birds. Sure enough, he can rip through spatial rifts and instantly teleport anywhere within his sensing range. Absolutely broken power. Spatial awareness easily handles the scouting and pinpointing targets, while tearing space gives him literal teleportation, perfect for offense and defense. Down below, Old Sun and Old Xia are completely confused why he's up a tree. He lightly drops down and asks, "Brother Xia, are you done talking business?" Everything is settled. Tomorrow, the whole crew can head back home. Old Sun is curious. Is this kid Xia's relative? Xia laughs out loud. "Brother Sun, you're giving me way too much credit. If I had a junior this talented, I'd wake up laughing in my sleep every single night." This is Chu Mo, the advisor of our Jade Pavilion at Luoyang Base. He's already a mid-stage martial artist, an absolute prodigy. Hearing this, Old Sun is blown away with respect. A mid-stage martial artist as an advisor? His talent must be unreal, and his future is limitless. This Chu Mo is incredible. Being an advisor at this age? Just pure genius. I might not be a big shot, but if Advisor Chu ever needs help in Changfeng Base, come find me. I have some influence. Chu Mo actually has a question. The Changfeng Base looks totally deserted right now. What exactly happened here? If it's top secret, no worries. But Old Sun instantly tenses up, cold sweat dripping down. "You're one of us, Advisor Chu. Nothing is off limits. I just didn't want to cause a massive public panic. Now, pay attention, things go crazy here. A giant monster crashes in, shaking the ground as terrified civilians scatter everywhere. It's a literal tier 3 vicious beast, the spiked spine dragon." He doesn't get it. Bases always have grandmasters guarding them and martial artists on patrol. How did a beast just walk in? Unless Changfeng Base is completely compromised right now. The beast roars, flashing razor-sharp teeth, and lunges straight for a helpless little girl below. Not on his watch. Chu Mo launches like a missile, kicking the massive beast into the dirt. He tosses the girl to Xia, telling him to keep her safe while he handles this overgrown lizard. Old Sun is panicking. Out of all tier 3 beasts, this dragon is an absolute nightmare to fight. Advisor Chu is only a mid-stage martial artist. Can he really take this thing down all by himself? But Xia trusts him completely. He knows Chu Mo isn't your average mid-stage fighter. Meanwhile, Chu Mo charges straight in. The monster spots him and swings its heavy tail to crush him, but Chu Mo flashes his tier 2 smoke step, leaping onto its back and sprinting straight toward its head. The spiked spine dragon feels him climbing up and thrashes violently, trying to shake him right off its body. You feel that panic from the crowd below, right? He tightly grips a spike, leaps high into the air, and stabs down with explosive force. He pierces its body, then yanks the sword out. Just one strike, and the beast drops dead, tongue hanging out. The crowd immediately rushes over. "Brother Chu, you're unbelievable. Taking out a spiked spine dragon all by yourself so easily? That's insane power. Advisor Chu, you literally just saved everyone's lives today." But Chu Mo gets serious. "Mr. Sun, logically, tier 3 beasts shouldn't breach the 30-kilometer safe zone around the base. What exactly is going on here? Old Sun goes quiet, finally confessing the truth. This is exactly why the base is completely deserted. For almost 2 months, the beasts outside Changfeng base have been super aggressive, constantly harassing the surrounding base areas. The base sent multiple squads of martial artists to investigate, but none of them ever came back. The beast movements are multiplying, and now they've actually started attacking the main base directly. We dispatched 5 of our 6 grandmasters. Only Captain Xie Yuan is left guarding us. Most of our martial artists and masters were also deployed out. This left Changfeng base severely lacking in defenders, making it totally impossible to stop a few monsters from slipping through. Xia comforts him, hoping to stop this crisis. But trust me, you'll want to see what happens next. If you need backup, just shout. He still couldn't wrap his head around it. A safe zone like Changfeng base should have at least 3 grandmasters guarding it to stay secure. Stick with me here right now. There is only one guard. Is the internal crisis at Changfeng base actually worse than a literal monster attack? Plus. The training trials between Changfeng and Luoyang bases just wrapped up a single month ago. Why waste manpower on trials when they are this short-staffed? Suddenly, members of the guard unit come sprinting over in an absolute panic. They are beyond thrilled the spine dragon is dead. Assuming Mr. Tan is the one who slaughtered the beast, they immediately start thanking him. The city's west side just got hit by monsters too. They barely had enough people and were worried they wouldn't make it here. Mr. Tan quickly clears things up. He was not the one who fought. It was actually the Emerald Pavilion consultant from Luoyang base, Mr. So Mak. Suddenly, the radio crackles. Their guard captain is inviting the 3 of them to the central hub. Said there is something important to discuss. At the Changfeng central hub, a guard leads them inside. The guard captain is the grandmaster permanently stationed at the hub. She can't just leave her post, hence the invite. Now watch this part closely. So Max steps inside and suddenly everything goes pitch black. Is this a trap or an illusion? So Max senses the space around him. Countless arrows launch straight at his face. Super weird. These are definitely killing moves, but he feels zero bloodlust. After dodging every single arrow, a voice rings out. Pretty sharp. He spots someone chilling over there. So Mac instantly teleports behind the girl, slashing his sword downward. But she vanishes. The lights flip on, and the girl stands to the side, clapping and praising his skills. As expected of the special consultant recruited by the Emerald Pavilion, Mr. So Mac. She apologizes for setting up this little test. This is the head guard captain, Grandmaster Ta Vian. He doesn't get why she did this. Suddenly, Old Ha bursts inside, panicking. The door slammed shut right when Somak entered, scaring these old guys half to death. Ta Vian apologizes for the fright. This test had 2 purposes. First, she wanted to see Mr. So's actual combat skills. Second, they realized this entire monster riot might actually be man-made. The enemy's origin energy had beast power hidden inside it. You and I both know a sneak attack is risky, but it was the easiest test. Naturally, these results mean she can absolutely 100% trust him now. If Mr. So hadn't shown up right on time today, who knows how many more would be dead. If possible, she wants him as a special agent for the Changfeng Guard. But here is the catch: he has to return to Luoyang base this afternoon. Ha Tian Nguyen speaks up too. Grandmaster Ta, under normal circumstances, we would all stay and help Changfeng base out. But this escorted treasure must be delivered within the time limit, or the whole mission is useless. The trip back is rough, honestly, without little brother. So here, I wouldn't be confident at all. Ta Vian starts putting the pieces together. The treasure absolutely has to be delivered on time or it becomes totally useless. If her private investigations aren't entirely wrong, the precious cargo they are escorting right now is actually an item meant specifically for an insider. Could it really be the exact thing she is thinking of? She knows she can't force him to stay, so she quickly comes up with a totally different proposal. Mr. So could simply work as their external defense expert instead. He wouldn't need to stay at the base full-time, just lend a hand whenever they face real danger. In exchange, Changfeng base will gladly pay him 500,000 origin stones every single year. So Mac acts a bit shy. Honestly, even without that official title, if the base was ever in serious trouble, he would step up and help out anyway. At the end of the day, Changfeng base and Luoyang base are practically very close neighbors anyway. If a threat was serious enough to wipe out Changfeng entirely, then Luoyang would definitely be right on the edge of destruction too. Ta Vian is super pleased with his straightforward personality. Then I am very happy to be working with you. Not long after that, the group finally hits the road, heading straight back to Luoyang base with the treasure. Ta Vian is honestly thrilled that the Emerald Commerce Alliance managed to rope in such an absolute teenage genius. Old Tun couldn't agree more with her. Since the very beginning, they have always focused heavily on maintaining solid relationships with every single faction. Business is the most important thing, right? Hearing that, Tavian decides they should sit down and start talking business too. Once the escort mission is a wrap, everyone groups up at Luyang Base's west gate. Max San is already standing there waiting. Everyone really worked their hearts out on this Changfeng trip. Ha Tianwen carefully hands the box containing the treasure straight to the young lady. And that's where we leave it. Fortunately, he didn't let anyone down, and she finally secured the item. Stick with me here, because things are about to get wild. The Jade Pavilion just readied everyone's massive payout. Manager Qian is handing out the cash shortly. Plus, they even hooked the crew up with top-tier healing elixirs and absolutely free VIP recovery rooms. First things first, everyone needs some rest. The whole crew is beyond hyped, begging to be called for the next mission. Meanwhile, Mo Shanshan wants a private, face-to-face chat with Chu Mo. She knows every single crazy stunt he pulled during this escort job. Even the deadly void-piercing white weasel was absolutely crushed by Mr. Chu. Honestly, his sheer strength is completely off the charts, way past her original expectations. Getting praised by a gorgeous girl, his ego is definitely inflating. But Shanshan actually has another massive favor to ask Mr. Chu. She asks if he wants to know the real identity of the treasure they just escorted. Turns out, it is the exact key needed to unlock the legendary 10,000 Flowers secret realm. Cut to the Changfeng Base Center, where Old Sun is frantically trying to explain himself. He swears he has zero clue what this 10,000 Flowers thing even is. Xie Yuan quickly cuts in. That treasure was supposedly just a time-sensitive healing elixir. They were just in a massive rush to get it delivered and save a life. It completely contradicts her whole 10,000 Flowers story. Right now, Old Sun is standing there, shaking like a leaf. Relax, I am not going to eat you alive. I admit the Jade Pavilion Alliance has elite spies grabbing intel fast, but our Changfeng base is definitely no joke either. We are not weak. Lately, they have been tracking down some seriously abnormal beast activity all around the Changfeng base, and accidentally stumbled upon massive energy spikes right where the 10,000 Flowers realm connects to our world. Shanshan simply would not show her face without a big payoff. And suddenly, she desperately needs a time-limited treasure right now. Knowing all of these details, do you really think the Changfeng base could not uncover the full truth? Xie Yuan keeps pushing. Old Sun, we go way back. Once this deal is locked in, I promise I will not let you guys take any kind of loss. We are only sending 2 people into that realm, and whatever loot they grab is theirs. Plus, the Jade Pavilion gets a permanent 5% tax cut on all future business. Old Sun is absolutely shocked. 5%? Is this actually real? Now watch closely, because a mysterious group of masked figures is tracking their every single move. 10 days later at Chu Mo's house, he slices his finger, pumps his origin chi straight into the blood, and blasts it right across the room. That single drop packs enough raw power to punch a clean hole through the wall. Then, he simply commands it back. Blood refining grand perfection. His vitality flows like liquid mercury, perfectly condensed and totally impossible to break apart. Thank God for that epic blood refining pill Shanshan provided him. The basic one-horned rhino fluid alone would never have boosted him to this insane tier in just 20 short days. He flashes back to their conversation that day. Shanshan told him, right between Changfeng and Luyang bases sits a hidden zone called the 10,000 Flowers secret realm. They discovered this entire realm will spawn in exactly 1 month, and that 10,000 Flowers compass is the one and only key to open the passage. The catch? This specific realm restricts entry to anyone ranked below the martial master tier. And him? A mid-tier martial artist already flexing power that easily rivals a full martial master. Mr. Chu, I am officially making this request. Please dive into this realm with me and help me secure the legendary Profound Origin Jade Marrow. Mo Shanshan promised that during this extremely dangerous realm trip, the Jade Pavilion strictly wants the Jade Marrow, and they will not fight over any other loot. But he actually needs to find something valuable to bring back out. Looks like he has to ride this momentum and blast his way to late-stage martial artist immediately. I know you saw that coming too, right? Suddenly, Chu Mo spots a hidden box inside the blasted wall hole. Inside sits bizarre vials, a cryptic letter, some books, and 2 deadly daggers. Stamped right on that letter is the exact same symbol worn by that mysterious masked group from earlier. Chu Mo absorbed all the original owner's memories, but his mind draws a total blank regarding this hidden chest and strange metal. Wait, this is a diary. The entry reads, "My power tier can absolutely only cap out at Martial Master. There is zero logical reason, just strictly no way to rank up. He flat out said we are the abandoned citizens of this new world." As increasingly powerful beasts keep spawning and martial artist tiers continuously skyrocket, Eventually, ordinary folks like us simply will not be able to survive out here. The lab's research progress is hitting a brick wall. Maybe these Tier 5 beast experiments just are not enough. We might actually need to hunt down Tier 6, or even insanely dangerous Tier 7 beasts. Little Mo is already 15, yet he remains completely ordinary. This is entirely my fault. That man was right. Our weak constitution is not just inherited, it actually degrades. Rumors say a monstrous Tier 7 beast appeared out in the western Yaoxi forest. I absolutely must check it out. Little Mo, just wait for Mom and Dad. We will definitely rewrite your weak constitution. We will make sure you can cultivate and easily blast right past that martial master tier. So what do you and I make of this cliffhanger? What on earth were his parents researching, and what exactly is this insane method to alter a cultivator's body? Let's dive in. Turns out a legendary Tier 7 beast actually wiped out that hunting squad. Tier 7 monsters are basically myths. He casually picks up the mysterious dagger. It is incredibly light, almost weightless in his hand, radiating a freezing aura. This dagger is definitely not some ordinary weapon. The Jade Pavilion knows everything. He decides to let Miss Mo appraise this blade next time. 7 days later, San anxiously waits for Chu Mo. That pink-haired girl is Tosana, a peak late-stage martial artist and master guard of Changfeng base. Beside her is Liu Yu, another peak late-stage guard from the base. Tosana is actually super hyped to finally meet advisor Su. She heard he is only a mid-stage martial artist, yet somehow Miss Mo and Master Xie Yuan treat him with insane levels of respect. Right on cue, Chu Mo arrives. Meeting him again, San feels his cultivation realm has leveled up once more. Tosana notices his intense aura completely surpasses a mid-stage fighter. Liu Yu quickly warns her not to underestimate this guy for a second. Chu Mo looks at the dagger and admits he improved. Then he turns to Miss Mo. He asks if she can appraise these 2 daggers for him. San inspects them carefully. This dagger is forged from the bones of a Tier 4 ice crystal eagle, making it extremely light. This material is perfect for hidden weapons since it attacks in absolute silence. It is built for maximum stealth and deadly precision. Tosana chimes in, guessing it is a Tier 4 weapon. She admits Chu Mo actually has some serious skills up his sleeve. Once inside the secret realm, she plans to find a chance to test his real power. Liu Yu is speechless, knowing she is too stubborn. But he reminds her their main mission is to gather as many supplies as possible inside. He tells her to stop messing around. Suddenly, Chu Mo senses violently swirling energy at the entrance. Watch closely here. San orders everyone to get ready. Entering this secret realm means they will be randomly teleported all over the place. Scattered everywhere, she promises to fire a signal from her location so they can regroup immediately. Using the myriad flower compass, she successfully unlocks the massive realm gate. Everyone quickly rushes inside. After earth-shattering global changes, random mini-worlds occasionally spawn all across the blue planet. Because these mini-worlds are firmly attached to the planet, they remain hidden and are commonly known as secret realms. These realms are loaded with resources, featuring completely new mountains, rivers, and wildlife. Some produce deadly monsters and epic heavenly treasures, while others are just completely barren wastelands. Investigated over decades by fighters, the Myriad Flower Realm is famously recognized as one of the most resource-rich zones in existence. Chu Mo successfully enters, but his landing is totally rough. Before moving, he starts using his spatial abilities to scan the surrounding area. No immediate danger. He quickly detects a 500-year-old mystic orchid and a 300-year-old rare herb nearby. With so many precious herbs in just a 50-meter radius, the life force and energy density here are absolutely off the charts. With energy this thick, native monsters will be brutal to fight. Suddenly, San's signal flares from the back mountain. Looks like the others landed safely. He needs to rush over there right now. You and I saw this coming, right? San's squad is completely surrounded. Even against Tier 2 beasts, these massive numbers make a brutal fight unavoidable. One careless guy takes a nasty bite to the shoulder. He survives, but this monster wave is way too overwhelming. Handling all of them is basically impossible. San fights desperately to buy them some precious time. Grouping up is their only hope. Suddenly, a beast attacks her blind spot, but she turns just as its head gets brutally chopped off. Classic hero saving the beauty moment. With Advisor Su arriving, everyone can finally breathe a sigh of relief. The monsters growl, ready to devour them alive. But to him, these are basically annoying bugs. Even 100 more would not leave a scratch. His blade intent erupts instantly. This raw power creates a massive explosion, completely terrifying the entire monster horde. They sense that humans have invaded the secret realm, and the mysterious key has finally returned. Chu Mo feels the entire realm's energy shifting slightly. Did his spatial talent just level up his ability to perceive dimensional ripples? This realm gives off an incredibly unstable spatial vibe, making it feel like absolute danger everywhere. The teammates are absolutely losing their minds with praise. So epic. He literally wiped out the entire horde alone. Even a master could not do that. Advisor Su lives up to the hype. Sansan steps up to thank him. Without his backup, she dreads thinking about how many people they would have lost in this brutal place. He wonders why so few gathered. The signal fired 2 hours ago. Makes you wonder what went wrong, right? Stick with me here. Only 40 people walked in today. Aside from 2 guys from Changfeng base, this is our entire crew. The Changfeng crew, they do not even care about the profound origin Jade Marrow. Their base recently took some massive hits. They are just here to scavenge some basic resources and stay out of trouble. Honestly, the pure danger level in this place has completely blown past what Shanshan originally expected. This forces them to cut down their scavenging time. They need to hunt down that profound origin Jade Marrow as fast as humanly possible. If Chu Mo actually helps her secure this legendary Jade Marrow, she is totally willing to split it 50-50 as his reward. To make up for the lost time, Chu Mo is straight up honest though. This hidden realm is giving him some seriously bad vibes. It is not just the fierce beasts. He fears that staying here too long will flat out cost them their lives. He thinks everyone should pack up and leave immediately. Just drop the whole mission if the Jade Marrow is not truly that important. Up until now, Shanshan completely believed that Chu Mo would not ask her a single question regarding the secrets of the Jade Marrow. She honestly thought he had absolutely zero interest. He ponders for a second look. If this treasure is actually that insanely priceless, I would not even know it. Ignorance is bliss anyway, because this way I will not get any greedy ideas about taking it. But the current situation just completely changed. I really think we need to take a step back and carefully evaluate if this thing is actually worth risking so many people's lives. Now watch closely. This profound origin Jade Marrow is a supreme heaven and earth treasure that helps martial artists completely shatter their highest realm limits. It builds a ridiculously solid foundation. For example, a peak martial artist usually maxes out their physical body at 200,000 pounds of raw force. But this Jade Marrow lets a martial artist utterly crush that absolute limit, unlocking 300,000 or maybe even 400,000 pounds of pure, devastating physical strength. This guarantees massive future potential, giving them room to grow to completely unimaginable new heights. So yeah, it is absolutely worth the insane risk. If he gets his hands on it, his talent amplification from the collection system will go completely through the roof. The higher his base stats are, the more terrifying his actual combat power becomes after amplification. Knowing this, Chu Mo makes the call. Everyone needs to move out immediately and hunt down that Jade Marrow. Fast and clean. The Myriad Flower Compass can track down the most important ley line hidden within this realm, the exact spot where pure energy gathers. And a place like that is the absolute perfect environment for the Jade Marrow to grow. Without another word, she activates the Myriad Flower Compass. But nearby, a pack of fierce beasts has been watching their every single move. The aura of the key is getting incredibly strong. The alpha beast instantly barks an order to its pack, go and drag that key back immediately. Over on our side, the group keeps following the Myriad Flower Compass and Mo Shanshan's lead. Suddenly, movement from behind. The fierce beasts launch a brutal ambush. Everyone instantly shifts into a tight defensive formation. Form up and protect Miss Mo. This terrifying beast does not just use physical attacks, it is packing deadly poison too. It lunges right at Chu Mo. He spins and delivers a vicious sword strike. The beast takes the hit, but it is nowhere near dead yet. The defensive power of this monster's body is completely off the charts. Chu Mo's heavy blade strike could easily slice straight through solid metal alloy, yet it cannot even scratch through this thing's fur. This right here is a pure level 2 beast, the golden-winged poison manticore. These manticores are normally solitary hunters, so why are there so dangerously many of them here today? The entire team has to push their limits just to dodge those razor-sharp claws, but their weapons still cannot cut through that insanely tough hide. This nightmare situation is exactly like the fierce beast ambush from last time. They might only be level 2, but their raw strength and lightning speed completely outclass standard beasts. You hear that, right? Chu Mo suddenly picks up a bizarre sound echoing through the space. It almost sounds like it is broadcasting some kind of tactical order. Suddenly, Mo Shanshan gets totally distracted by an outside attack. Exploiting that tiny opening, a mountain-piercing pangolin snatches the Myriad Flower Compass right out of her hands. She attacks to get it back, but completely misses. This pangolin and the poison manticores are coordinating flawlessly. The second they secure the compass, they literally flash step right out of there. But with our overpowered main character standing right here, there is absolutely no way they are escaping that easily. One brutal sword strike from him leaves that mutated cat whining in pure pain. The myriad flower compass safely flies back into Shanshan's hands. These monsters came specifically for the myriad flower compass. They actually had a highly detailed tactical plan and perfect teamwork. Chu Mo realizes something else is hiding in the shadows, ordering them to play thief. It has to be a highly intelligent beast. Rumor says a beast needs to be at least level 5 to awaken true intelligence. Time for him to use his spatial senses and find out what this nightmare is. After locking onto the suspicious target, he uses his spatial abilities to instantly teleport right behind its back. Oh my god. The beast standing right in front of him is so horrifyingly ugly, I cannot even begin to describe it. This disgusting monster actually possesses eerie human-like features, and its power level is absolutely terrifying. So what do you and I make of this? One casual swipe blasted Chu Mo backwards. A beast with human intelligence? We are in trouble. Stick with me here, this beast should be tier 5 or higher, but its attack is weaker than a tier 3. Our MC has never seen anything like this before. The monster knows a prolonged fight is a losing battle, so it immediately tries to make a run for it. But there is zero chance he is letting it escape. He instantly teleports right up close and delivers an absolutely devastating slash. The beast slams heavily into the ground. Taking a direct hit like that, there is absolutely no way it survives that strike. Still, he had to combine the power of 10,000 blades into one just to pierce through its incredibly tough armor. This monster's physical defense is definitely bordering on tier 5. The whole situation is just completely bizarre. San finally catches up. The beasts here are so weird, she is just thankful he is around. Otherwise, they probably would have left empty-handed. Everything about these creatures is just completely contradictory and makes zero sense. First things first, he checks the origin energy inside its body. Right as he starts, a dark shadow sneaks up behind him. This assassin goes straight for the kill. If it was not for main character plot armor, he would be dead. The two fighters instantly clash in a brutal head-on confrontation. The attacker is only at peak martial artist tier, but his strike hits like a martial master. They just start throwing down. Here is where it gets wild. Their real target is the Kim Si-Dok Lai leader's corpse. This body definitely hides a massive secret. At first, they look evenly matched. But as the fight drags on, So Mac's lightning talent multiplies his raw power, completely shattering the enemy's weapon to pieces. That was way too close. The assassin barely escaped with his life. Staring at his opponent, So Mac senses his aura. It is definitely human, but somehow carries the distinct traits of a wild monster. San screams out, telling So Mac to catch them. They are imposters, not from the Thweenok Pavilion. Instantly, a massive volley of arrows rains down. Using that distraction, the three attackers use a spatial item to vanish. It probably triggered a random teleport, which is the only reason they slipped away safely. Those three had familiar faces from the Thweenok Pavilion. She has absolutely no idea when they were swapped out by these dangerous imposters. Looking back down at the beast's corpse, he is completely baffled. Did they go through all that trouble sneaking in here just for this dead body? What kind of crazy secret is it hiding? Meanwhile, Tosana and Lu Vu are casually gathering resources. He is super hyped to find a 400-year-old spirit spring herb worth at least 100,000 origin stones. But Tosana feels like something is seriously wrong. The number of monsters they have encountered so far is way too low. It is totally abnormal. Suddenly, footsteps approach. The two quickly hide behind some bushes and spot the exact same three guys who just attacked our main duo. Ripping off their disguises, they start complaining furiously. They never expected Mac, San, and So Mac to be such a total nightmare to deal with. I know what you are thinking. Who are these guys? Tosana is shocked to realize it is actually Neep Vu from Master Diep Hoa's elite guard. Wait, did not Master Deep's entire personal guard unit supposedly go off to investigate the monster activity right alongside him? Why are they wearing Thweenok Pavilion uniforms? Master Diep Hoa realizes this secret realm has more than just one strange beast running around. He decides to hunt one down first, kill it, and deal with Mac San later. Their real goal is the exact same treasure San came to this realm to find. It obviously is not a monster, but since their cover is blown, they are now at a massive disadvantage. Deep Hoa guarantees that the value of this mutated beast corpse far exceeds whatever item Mac San is actually looking for. Jumping back to So Mac, his check reveals the monster's power is truly just tier 2, but its physical stamina and evolutionary traits have reached tier 5. Remembering what San told him earlier. Since only fighters under Martial Master can enter the Van Hoa realm, he guesses this level restriction affects both outsiders and the monsters born inside. Their actual power levels are strictly capped at tier 2. San is confused. If the beasts are made from the realm's own energy, why limit them? Whatever the reason, this place has way too many dark secrets. The group needs to find the Huyen Wen Jade Marrow as quickly as possible. They resume their search for the Huyen Wen Jade Marrow. The compass points them straight into a deep, dark cave. Mac, San, and Somac head down, while the rest stay outside on guard duty. They do not run into a single bug or snake along the way. Deep inside, origin energy flows smoothly like a gentle river. Could the destination of this massive energy stream be the Huyen Wen Jade Marrow? You and I are finally seeing it. Mac San is absolutely thrilled. The Huyen Wen Jade Marrow floats gracefully near the sharp ice crystals. This legendary treasure can completely shatter physical limits. And look at that, there are exactly 10 of them here. Let's dive right back into the action. Without Somac, she definitely wouldn't have grabbed this spirit treasure. She might have actually died. Keeping her promise, 5 of those jade drops are his. He thanks Miss Mac, gladly accepting the well-earned loot without any hesitation. Just these 5 Mystic Origin Jade Essences are enough to boost his current physical strength by at least 150,000 pounds. Our MC senses the core of the surrounding energy gathering right around the Jade Essence, but San is seriously doubting him. After all, this Jade Essence naturally grows in crucial earth veins where raw energy heavily concentrates. How could the main energy convergence point possibly be in this random spot? But it is real. Only a fraction of the energy is near the Jade Essence. The rest is right here. He totally called it. Just like the hiding spot of the 10,000-year Spirit Marrow, there is a hidden pocket space concealed by a natural illusion barrier. This circle right here is that naturally formed illusion. There has to be another hidden treasure sitting right behind it. Since they already made it this far, the two of them decide to just charge right in. Boom! The second they step in, they run straight into a world origin stone tornado. These stones appear when minor worlds are born or destroyed. They act as spirit treasures, holding the root of the original world, directly helping cultivators comprehend the absolute laws and transformations of sheer spatial shifting. San suddenly remembers something. Back when they were fighting that golden-winged poison drake, Somac actually used a spatial teleportation skill. However, that was merely a secondary-tier spatial talent. He doesn't even fully understand the depths of that power just yet. Turns out it is a secondary spatial talent, which is actually incredible news. Both space and time talents are straight-up legendary top-tier abilities in this world. Now, pay attention here. Who would have thought his talent was already secondary tier? Doesn't that mean he gets dual skills in transformation and perception? She feels incredibly lucky. Getting him on the Emerald Jade Alliance's side early on was the best move ever. The World Origin Stone has an energy tornado guarding it. The closer you get, the stronger it gets, shredding any living creature to absolute pieces. There is only a half-meter safe zone right around the stone itself. Without spatial teleportation powers, it is literally impossible to phase through that raging energy tornado and actually grab the prize. So it is basically destined to belong to our guy Somac. If someone without a spatial talent uses this stone, the chances of actually awakening a spatial ability are less than 1 in 1,000. But if someone who already has a spatial talent uses it, that is a 100% guaranteed massive power-up for their skills. She told him earlier that aside from the Jade Essence, every single piece of loot they find goes straight to him. With that said, he immediately teleports, phasing right through the tornado and successfully snatching up the World Origin Stone. The second he touches it, images of vicious beasts flash into his mind. The moment he grabs the stone, it feels like he instantly unlocks the dark secrets of this entire hidden realm. A massive horde of leveling beasts absorbed the energy, causing the outer edges of the hidden realm to crack and nearly collapse. They could only forcibly suppress the beasts down to Tier 2, but even that suppression is about to completely break down. You and I both know what that means. The beasts waiting outside actually have power levels closing in on Tier 5. Given the current deadly situation, their absolute best move is to absorb the Jade Essence and the Origin Stone right here, maxing out their combat power immediately. First off, this spot is inside the Origin Stone's natural barrier, so they won't get interrupted by random attacks. Second, they are definitely going to face some brutal battles moving forward. Breaking past their physical limits without actually jumping to a new cultivation realm is the absolute best strategy right now. So Mac hesitates. This plan does require them to have total, absolute trust in each other to work. Cultivators normally isolate themselves to train. If Miss Mac finds it awkward, his sudden suggestion might be crossing a line. But surprisingly, she actually trusts him completely without any hesitation. Sir, let's do exactly as you say, and just like that, both of them begin their training. So Mac pulls up his system interface to check his combat stats. His base strength is at 202,701 pounds. Breaking his physical limit will add at least another 500,000 pounds. With attribute enhancements, his total strength hits 878,650 pounds. Pushing past his physical limits could boost that by at least 2 million pounds. He thinks to himself, once the physical cap is broken, his base strength jumps up by 500,000. After applying those crazy attribute buffs, even a late-stage martial master probably wouldn't stand a single chance against him in a real fight. He glances over and sees San still training. Since there is time left, he might as well absorb the World Origin Stone right now. Time to see exactly what kind of crazy upgrade this gives to his already awesome spatial talent. Holding the World Origin Stone, he has zero clue how to actually use it. Maybe inject his own energy to activate it? With that thought, he does it immediately. Suddenly, he feels like he's floating in deep space, surrounded by a sea of shining stars. A massive surge of raw power begins gathering right in his chest. Snapping back to reality, so Mac has no idea what just happened. It feels like all that starlight just fused directly into his own body. The stone shatters into dust. What level is his spatial talent at now? He quickly checks the system, and trust me, you're going to want to see this. Alright, let's jump right back in. His spatial talent just leveled up, leaving a dimensional mark on his body to create a personal pocket space. He totally expected his spatial awareness and teleportation range to get a massive boost. But this new portable dimension? Super cool. A glowing dimensional mark literally appears right on his hand. Trembling slightly, Chu Mo tries channeling his spatial energy straight into that brand new mark. Based on his current cultivation realm and the actual tier of his spatial talent, it can only hold a specific amount of dimensional power. Even going all out, he only unlocks about 20 cubic meters of space. Still, that is honestly not bad at all. Once his cultivation realm and talents level up again later, this pocket dimension will definitely expand even further. You and I need to watch Shan here. She just successfully broke her physical limits, adding another 100,000 pounds of raw force. Now she can enter the martial realm with an insane 300,000 pounds of pure physical strength. She is so hyped she does not even notice Chu Mo standing right there. Even now, looking at him, she feels like his presence is completely unpredictable, flickering in and out of reality. If he had not spoken up first, she honestly might not have noticed him at all. It is probably because he absorbed the Realm Essence Stone. That stone shares the exact same origin as this secret realm, so his aura naturally blends right into the environment. He feels just like the air and dirt here, nearly impossible to detect, but suddenly, everything around them starts shaking violently. Don't blink, because things are going crazy above ground. Ferocious beasts are ambushing everyone, and the outside guards are fighting for their lives. One guard gets distracted and takes a brutal hit, almost losing his life. Luckily, Advisor Chu and his void-shattering blade show up in the absolute nick of time. Everyone instantly realizes he somehow got even stronger. Chu Mo shoots forward like an arrow, one-shotting the monster with a single strike. The horde just keeps coming. He leaps high into the air and crashes down, slashing straight through the demonic beast. Just one swing takes out multiple monsters at once. The entire crowd is left completely speechless by his absolutely devastating power. Miss Mo told them he was the strongest expert in the martial realm, and honestly, she was not exaggerating one single bit. Shan notices it too. Every single time Mr. Chu fights, he somehow looks insanely more powerful than the last time. Talk about terrifying potential. Suddenly, a totally bizarre beast boss strikes a dramatic pose and yells out, "Hand over the king's key!" We'll see what happens next together.